welcome back to another Nextlander podcast. Alex Navarro.
Yeah.
Brad Shoemaker is out. He talked about it on the Ramblecast, but he's having a touch of the surgery today or yesterday. Yeah, he's
just a little nip of the neck surgery, you know,
That's
like
right.
just a little taste of it.
Joining us here is Jeff Bakalar. Thank you very much.
Hello, friends.
Hi.
How are you? Thanks for having me. What's shaking?
What's shaking? So, Brad, just so people know, he's having a similar surgery to what I had and many others have had. He's having I think it sounds worse than it is, though. It's pretty intense. A fusion. It's two vertebrae fused, the disc removed. I think he's having actually multiple vertebrae fused.
It used to be a much more intense surgery than I think it is these days, where it can be done in a relatively quick amount of time versus, but the recovery is still no joke.
Yeah. So we wish him the best. I messaged him yesterday. I hope he is recovering well today, but he'll be out for this. And you can hear more about it again on the Ramblecast, where he talks about it. I'm not going to speak for the man,
But don't worry, we've surgically repaired this podcast to ensure we still have a third host, Jeff Bakalar.
That's right. In the rotating seats.
Once again.
He's been fused to the rotating seat.
Oh, how's it going, Mr. Giant Bomb?
Hey, nothing's changed. Fused to a rotating seat. Feels right where I belong. Feels good, not going to lie.
Does it feel good?
Feels all right. How's Giant Bomb? Giant Bomb is going well, and that's because of the people, not because of me.
Wow, look at this guy.
Not
you
because
are the
of
people,
me.
aren't you?
Technically, yes, I am the people. I'm for the people, by the people.
Okay.
Yes, the people help us out in the same way they help you guys out, and it kind of fucking rules, I gotta say. It's what keeps the lights on. So yeah, I got nothing to complain about. As long as the people continue to show up, I think everyone in this podcast is gonna be all right.
Yeah.
We yes, I hope so. It was very funny to me, and I won't call out the person, but
I will.
Okay, great. We were at PAX. We had a great time at PAX. Great trip. I joined in on the Giant Bomb Blight panel where I was blighted. Thanks for inviting me, Bakalar, and thanks to the crew for inviting me over there into PAX. But we were sitting there, and you guys are working it. You guys are good at selling the Giant Bomb in ways that we were never good at. And we're sitting there, and you and I are sitting there talking to somebody who's a fan, and they were like, I'm not listening to the Giant Bomb podcast that much. You turn around, you go away, you come back like a second later, and you're like, Billy, Bob, David, Frank, whatever your name is, I got some coupons here. How am I going to get you in a Giant Bomb podcast today? You take these.
Hey, what do I got to do to get you in a 4-door Giant Bomb Premium?
So you take some of these, hand them out to the kids, your coworkers, your friends, your family. This is good. I don't give these to anyone. I just talked to my boss, and this will get you a good deal on a podcast.
That's where I disappeared for 15 minutes. I went to the manager's office in the back.
And he was just eating a sandwich back there. He didn't actually talk about it at all. You just came back. You're like, all right, here's the routine. Let's do it.
That's it. We did the whole dog and pony show, and I was like, look, I'm not supposed to do this.
I'm not supposed to do this.
I'm going to knock $100 off that True Coat.
How would you like Gap insurance? No, but
you're good. You guys are good. You make it. You're very.
You're salesman.
Or I'll give it an even nicer veneer, nicer polish. You're very fan forward. You are very like, hey, we want everybody to give this a try, and like now that we own it, we can do whatever we want to bring people in here. Doorbusters on our best content.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think part of going into business for yourself, right, and being the entity that the buck stops with, right? You have to do that. I think. Crap. No, I think the reality, right, is like when all the years that we were corporately owned, and you guys obviously can attest to the same thing. When you're corporately owned, it's a different dynamic. It's just not the same.
Yes. There is nobody at the top who's going to. Well, look, I'll push back a little bit just to give a little bit of conversation here. There's also the side where nobody could just decide to shutter you and close you for no good reason, right? Or because you're not meeting some unreasonable expectation, right? Like you might go broke because something didn't work out, but it's not because somebody didn't make 20% on it that year when you were doing just fine.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean that's part of it, right?
That's
like
part of it.
I think
It's different though, huh?
It's different, and I knew it would be different,
Stressful,
and
huh?
it's the reason we wanted to be different. You know, we wanted to be different, and I would not go back. But yeah, to your point, like you gotta get out there. You're getting out there. You're selling. You got to sell yourself. You like. I don't want to freak you two out here.
Well, freak my bean. Go do it.
But turns out your face, your personality, my friends. Well, guess what?
What?
Maybe, just maybe, that's part of the product.
Well,
that's really unfortunate for me.
No, it's not. It's
also,
not. It's a good thing.
Also, like weirdly, do you own some portion of our face? Like maybe this
You're
side
goddamn
of it?
right I do.
For stuff that was recorded at Giant Bomb. I was talking about this with my wife. I was like, could they just put, I don't know what I signed there all the time. Could they just put us on a billboard and be like, yeah, no, Giant Bomb, come get this guy. Could I be holding something on a billboard? And you're like, you signed your likeness away ages ago.
Yeah. Listen, I will give you the real gut feeling answer, and then I'll give you the personal friends and family answer.
Okay, here we go. It's recorded, so
the first answer is I'm almost positive I could do that.
I'll push back a little bit and say I think you might be right in existing context. Yes. I'm not sure you could out of context use our likeness.
If we were advertising the incredible vault and library of content that both of you have spent thousands of hours on. Easy. Yes. You're mine. Easy. Yes. Now, the friends and family answer is I would never do that in a million fucking years without asking you first.
That's fair. I appreciate that. I do.
Without getting your blessing.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now, if you could just get the other percentage shareholders to agree to this would be a fantastic thing.
We get it in writing. Let me get my lawyer on the horn here.
Just get that spread around there.
Please.
That's fine.
I don't have a lawyer.
I was just going to say, no more lawyers, okay?
I don't even have a lawyer.
I feel like by the transitive property, I am also a lawyer and an accountant. It's just, I don't want to be those things.
No,
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay? A lawyer and an accountant. I've met people in my life who are in reality both of those things.
Yeah.
And they don't seem well.
No.
I don't want to be both of those professions.
Or either.
No, anyone who has to spend that much time looking at minutia within large stacks of paperwork never comes out feeling good by the end of it.
Or the things that I have found with lawyers and even accountants, and bless them because they do the stuff I don't want to do.
It's important work. I'm not saying
it's important work, especially
is.
Here in the States where a lot of this is just like, I don't know. Is like sometimes it does come down to like, I don't know, man. We're all just taking our best guess at this. Yep. You'd be like, wait, when I'm paying you a lot of money, it's be like, yeah, I know, but it's just not very clear.
Look, it's important work, but we all know this. And what I'm saying is not going to blow anyone's mind. But the system is deliberately opaque.
It's bad.
Well, yeah.
And the fact that that there's an entire line of work that is dedicated to deciphering an indecipherable sort of tax system is insane. When you boil down like all the wasted money and time and effort and all the energy, it's just like, what are we doing, folks?
And then you look. We'll get off of this in a second, but I think it is interesting. Then you throw in the part where it's like taxes, and they're like, okay, so what about digital goods? And then you're asking people to be like, oh, we'll just leave that up to everybody else to figure out. Everybody can have their own rules on that one. Is that a taxable good? Yeah, right.
How often? So I buy stuff online. Who doesn't? Yeah. It's the most inconsistent thing ever. I'll buy the same product from two different stores. One charges tax, one doesn't. What?
I think sometimes even
is it the state? Is it the feeling? Is it the season?
I think sometimes even between me and Alex, when we buy a game from like Steam or something, we get slightly different prices for some reason. And I don't think that's dynamic pricing. I don't know what's happening, but we'll talk about it and be like, was your thing like $14.97? And he's like, no, my thing was $14.54. Be like, why?
What?
I don't know. Anyway, PAX was super fun this year. And I had a great time. I hope that show continues to keep its proper vibe. I mentioned this on the Ramblecast but I think I was really thinking about it, why I like the tone of PAX on the floor better. And I think once you get through the security check, it just feels like everyone there wants to be there. You know, from the enforcers to the people who are showing games. It doesn't feel as much like people are hired and can't wait to get the fuck out of here, or people who are looking at the crowd and being like, these fucking nerds, huh? Security Jones. It's like you look around and you'd be like, oh, these represent the people who are here. The enforcers represent the community. The people who are making games feel like they're in the community. It just has that vibe to it that everybody's coming from a similar place.
That's right. I think it is authentic in many, many ways. And I think it's important. It's like, you and I talked about this when we were there. Like, I know their whole like kind of slogan is like, you're home. This is your home. It's cozy.
That was
right?
this year
like,
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
PAX
like,
Land.
I think that's real. I think there's a truth to that. I think now that we've done, 4 or 5 years in a row, it's like, this is great.
Feels very comfortable.
I feel like we belong here. I feel like, we have a very sort of symbiotic relationship. Everyone gets what they want out of it, and it's just a really, really nice event. And
I mean, look, it's still a business, but I think in terms of a gaming event, I took my son to Comic-Con ages ago, and he was maybe a little too young to really enjoy it. But the thing about Comic-Con, and I had gone a couple of times, five times ish, is eventually over the course for Comic Vine mostly, right? Eventually over the course of Comic-Con, once the MCU stuff really hit, and once there was a lot of TV superhero stuff, the panels really started becoming more like celebrity panels.
Yes.
The panels weren't like comic book focused in terms of like creators of the comic book or artists, and it was more about like what TV show. It was a lot of like, look, Firefly would be there. That's not a comic book thing, but it was that kind of thing at a Comic-Con. They'd have like Simpson reunion panels at Comic-Con, and that people were there for that. And it felt like a little bit less to really dress up as some obscure DC character from the 70s that you're like, super cool. But PAX still feels like it's somebody doing a panel that's like talking about community and gaming community and having a dopey time.
Or forcing a middle-aged man to play a really bad PC adventure game.
They said it was bad. I bought that game.
You did.
It was on sale for like 65 cents. It was no joke. It was literally on sale like 99% off.
What are you doing?
It was like, I want to see where it goes. All right. Every year I'm going to go back. Every year you invite me back, we're going to get an inch forward a little bit. That game was only like 4 hours long, right? We're going to inch forward a bit. It was Dragon Lore.
Dragon Lore
is the game I played at the panel with you guys.
Yeah, the only game to actually break down Dragon Lore. Dragon Lore.
Finally, Dragon Lore.
Finally, we get the answers we've been looking for here.
I'll say, I said this before, but this is always my biggest fear at PAX panels, and it wasn't that bad, but it was a little bad. I feel like hearing the people at the other end of the table is always my biggest fear during a panel, of like, sometimes the monitors don't push back the audio that you're saying into the microphone.
That's right.
And like, as I get older and my hearing gets worse, I feel like, oh man, I'm just gonna be like, what? What did you say down there? And it was a little bit of that.
Yeah, I've had good years and not so easy to hear years.
What do you think of this one?
This one was sort of medium, in the middle.
Yeah.
It was kind of in the middle. I don't know if they bring in like different production crews each year. I think they might actually, but I don't want to speak.
Those guys seemed like they were on it. It's just,
without a doubt, it's not about. It's not that. I think it's just I think it's just sort of like the kind of different kind of flavor that people are also people have preferences too, right?
Yes.
And it's kind of like, what do you? And to get in there and dial it in is not an easy task.
Or give everyone monitors or headphones. Totally. Yeah. But but it was generally pretty good. I had a ton of fun. And thanks again to everybody who showed up. Thanks to everyone who said hi. I did not play a ton of stuff on the show floor. I played a couple of things. Some things I actually missed that I wanted to go see, but I just didn't make it to. But we did buy, and this is going to segue into the first game we're going to talk about here just briefly. We did buy a board game on the floor because there's a lot of merch on the floor.
Oh, nice.
There's a not insignificant amount of board game stuff on the floor. Tons of dice. If you want dice.
Oh, yeah.
We got
every flavor of dice, every color, every texture, whatever you got. They got dice made out of flesh. They got dice made out of fucking, carbon steel. What do you got?
I gotta say, I left that show this year more than ever with just being like, I need dice. I don't know.
That's what happens.
You don't even know why you need it. You just need it.
Stacey bought a set last year, and she still talks about it. It was not cheap. She got the 7-piece set.
Yeah.
And then this year, I barely looked at anything. And then she's giving me the dice now so that I can thank you.
Okay.
There's one more.
This is not a video podcast, but we can at least observe it. And describe
liquid core. What do we got?
They're not liquid core. They're just sort of like.
Okay, pull your hand
that's
back a little
focus.
bit.
Yeah. Put them by your face.
There we go.
Look at those. Those are beautiful.
These are beautiful. They better be.
Are they?
They
gems?
cost a
Are they
beautiful.
actual...
It's glass, right? She says it's glass.
Oh,
it's
that's
just
cool.
glass.
Yeah. Sorry for people. I'll just describe them for the people listening.
Very clear, very see-through.
Very clear with like a hint of purple.
Rosy color.
Yeah.
Kind of like a quartz thing. Yeah.
And they've got like around each sort of serifed number.
Yeah.
Some of them have like cool frames around them. Mm-hmm. So it's like the numbers themselves are like stylized in a really cool way.
Yeah, but that's a big blur on the screen. Yeah, it looks like
that just kind of look like you're the fucking uncut gems dude, like looking for
This is how I win.
Yeah, with my D20.
There it is. Now I can see it.
See all that? Like really
those are
why the fuck would you show it to me if I can't have it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think I had sent you something about the dice on Discord.
Then we were talking about dice. Yeah,
I'm not joking. Stacey and my social feeds inundated with dice ads.
Oh, you did it.
Oh, that happens every time.
Somehow.
Yeah.
But like, people at the show, like, Will, who we both work with, he's like, why am I getting dice ads now? And I'm like, because we were all in the same spot together, and someone made a purchase, and that stuff. Just you're in.
There's no escaping it.
You're in the proximity of someone who's making a purchasing decision. They're gonna get that. You're gonna rub off them.
Everyone should own a good quality, a good wrench, a quality set of spanners, and a good set of
several dice for board gaming.
Yeah. Just one set you're really happy with.
What if I own 3?
That's good. You need those. You have you have like 3
okay, so pair them. 2 of them are kind of cheap. Like they're just little, like colored plastic ones, which are nice enough. I did buy one expensive set of dice.
Oh, where'd you get them from?
There is a game store in my hometown. I think it's called Goblin Brothers or something like that.
That's a good name.
But it's all like tabletop stuff, and it is Obsidian. So I was like, ooh, these are really nice. And I was like,
cool.
You know what? I should splurge and get one really nice set of dice. So I supported a local business and also got a nice set of dice.
That's cool. Now, what's the over-under on Vinny for total sets of dice?
I'm going to say above 5.
Yeah, I'm taking the over on 5.
Over. Yeah, it's over. I have probably about 10 or 15.
Okay.
Like, nice. I have some metal dice, some gem dice, some Kickstarters I've done for some dice. I've also got the bags of like 100, different ones.
Just like random junk.
Yeah. Those are really good for when just people come over and you're like, well, you're not going to touch my goods.
Right. I can give you.
Do you want some dice? I've got all these dice. Please just take them with you.
Right. Yeah.
It's like Halloween candy you can't get rid of.
Yeah. I like. So there's something about a set of dice that I like to use in different campaigns. Like when I have a new character, I'm like, oh, I associate this set of dice with this character.
That's cool.
Or these are my wizard dice. These are my paladin. Like different dice. Paladins need a metal set of dice, right? That's and wizards should have like their ornate dice or, whatever it is. Or
sure.
My rogue has this, I have a set for my rogue that I played once, which was like, this is like a black and white set. It's like very stealthy. It's like, there's some pure black dice and there's some pure white dice in here. So like, I don't know. Part of the fun for me is the physical part, though digital rolling is very convenient when you're playing online.
But I think it's fun when you just need to do a straight D20 roll and you're like, you know what? I want to let
roll it.
Let's let the physical world decide what's going to happen.
That's right.
Here.
That's fun.
Yes, very fun. And they just make them look awesome now. All the CNC machines and like carving of being able to carve any material. Sometimes there's dumb stuff where I'm like, I don't need a set of tungsten dice, but
I know
that just looks cool. But
Need
why
doesn't
is it
really enter the equation
$500
there. Need is not important.
it's good I'm not here for this just because I would be like you, Vinny, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's a pretty thing that someone spent time
Like
making.
a keyboard. Yeah.
Exactly. If that's a bespoke thing, I'm certainly going to use a keyboard more than I am a set of dice. But you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
I think they are really cool. I think, like Stacy, we don't really play D&D, but Stacy uses like almost like a fidgety device kind of thing, which is, I think, fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I've not caught the bug, thankfully, but they're pretty, not going to lie. And hopefully 3 or 4 days from now, the algorithm will work its way out of my feed.
Yeah. Well, let's start talking about board games so that we got a different feed going here. We went and we saw Slay the Spire had its collector's edition. I had been eyeing the Slay the Spire board game for a bit. I heard very good things about it. My son it has been getting it. Slay the Spire 2 is out, right? Like, or it's in early access. I forget what form it's in, but it's enough out where people are like, man, Slay the Spire 2 fucking rules, like Slay the Spire 1 does. And so he's been playing 1 and 2, and I was like, it's his birthday coming up. The Slay the Spire board game is something that I've heard really good things about. I missed the Kickstarter for it. It was years ago. They're having some DLC Kickstarter going on where you can get it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, he saw it there, and he was like, oh, they have the collector's edition here. Like, we should get it. I was like, is that what you want for your birthday? And he's like, yeah, that's what I want. So we wound up getting that, and we have it home now, and we haven't played it yet because we just haven't had time because we got back from PAX and in school and all this stuff, and I got to sleeve all the cards and because of those grubby little fingers.
Sure.
And yeah. And so, but I was like, I should really put more time into Slay the Spire. 1, even though I've heard 2 is really an amazing game. And you don't need to finish 1, and it's basically like 1 plus is what I've heard. Like, hey, it's just a really refined version of the first one. I was like, let me go through the first one a couple of times. And so I don't know if Bakalar, you know this, the AYN Thor. Have you seen that?
Okay. Oh, I know. Hey, I listen to your podcast. I know what's going on.
So
Someone does.
I was like, finally, with our one fan. And I was like, this is a great game to put on this thing because it's not fast-paced, it's turn-based. For those who don't know, Slay the Spire is essentially a tabletop game. It is a card-based deck builder where you're trying to go through, for all intents and purposes, a tower to get to the end, and you're building your deck of cards as you go, and they all have different buffs. Like, hey, you can attack twice, you can do this, you do that. And each character, there are a couple of characters in it, get different decks of cards, and so on and so forth. So I was like, let me play this on my AYN Thor. I'll just call it the Ein Thor just to stop saying AYN. And I streamed it at first, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to try playing it through the Android porting of it. And I tried that. And there's also an Android native version of it. So it's a great test, and I've had great luck with it all. I haven't done the Android native version on it, but my son now calls it my Slay the Spire device every time he sees it. He's like, hey, you left your Slay the Spire device out. And I'm like, well, I can do more than that. But I am super enjoying playing that thing on what is essentially a Steam Deck. Like it is.
You think it's like a Steam Deck, that thing?
I mean, it's like a DS Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's a tiny Steam Deck.
Yeah. The screen is a little small for that kind of game, but it works for me.
It's a Steam Deck that is mostly intended for emulation, more than like straight up, just like Steam library type stuff.
I think that's right. I think,
but they have different flavors of it.
Yeah.
And,
sure,
it's powerful enough to play that game.
No, I've really not had any issues with throwing anything at it.
Wait, do you have one?
I do, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Do you
Vinny, I think I had one. I think I had one before you, bro.
No, it's impossible. Nobody's had one before me.
Fuck!
Ow!
That's not what this is about. Come on, what murder?
What murder? Boy, that's a good callback. Okay. Do you remember what flavor you got? I think I got the second from the highest.
Yeah, same. The 12 gig one, right? The 12 gigabytes of memory.
I don't remember all the specs on it, but it wasn't like the super one. I'm like, I'm not going that far.
That was overpowered.
That's too much.
Yeah. So I like it. Just like a lot of these things, I only buy like one of these a year, and I'm like
a year. I mean, that's pretty intense.
I mean, I wind up, getting rid of the one before it. The problem I have with this one is just like the ergonomics of it. I think are not what I want them to be.
Did you get the little handles?
No, I've heard about that. Maybe I need to get the grips.
That's what I use the grips.
Can I heard I could 3D print that. Maybe I'll try doing that.
Oh yeah, you're a 3D printer guy. Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
You saw the dragons.
I caught the dragon.
You caught the dragons. Those are legit. We should have given you guys one. No,
you gave me one.
We did.
Yes, I have a dragon.
I don't remember that. But great. I
don't think you were there. I think Stacy gave it to me.
Wonderful.
And was like, "Don't tell Bakalar," because
she calls me Bakalar. That's cool.
Yeah, don't don't tell Bakalar. Yeah. Right. That's great. There's too many Jeffs in the world.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But I think I saw someone post like, hey, you can really but you can really copy the mold for that thing pretty well.
Sure,
and
it
works well. And
the nice thing is it's squishy. I think the grips I have are a little it's like a silicone almost.
So then I'll have to print in a different filament.
Oh,
you could print.
You got squishy filaments.
PETG is soft. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's cool. It's cool.
How soft is it? Like, are we talking like Fleshlight soft?
I mean, there's fuckers out there printing sandals, like.
What? No.
Yeah, dude.
They're walking on that stuff?
You can walk on it. Yeah.
Oh, gross. All right,
what do you mean gross?
I don't know.
Why is that gross?
I don't know. Something about
I'm hearing it's gross.
Something that I don't like about it.
I think, no, like,
we're going to destroy this world even more, aren't we? Everybody's just printing plastic.
I feel like 3D printers are maybe low on the pecking order.
Definitely
of
not
like,
the biggest one.
Yeah. What's what these days? Yep. But yeah, people print all kinds of like wearables,
doesn't it? Some of the filament is biodegradable.
I think you can get ones that are biodegradable. Yes.
Yeah, like the shitty kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know. Maybe some magic mushroom that we have not discovered yet will learn how to eat plastic, and all of our problems will be gone.
That's some Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, 3D print or buy or 3D print some grips on it. I've really liked it. I haven't used the 2-screen functionality as much as I thought maybe I would first.
Same.
And I actually haven't done as much DS. I bought it because I was like, I want something that can play DS and 3DS stuff that I have, right? I don't want to break out my 3DS all the time.
And that's a unique request of abilities, right?
Console, yeah.
And so I did the dual screen ones where I was like watching the Devil's game at the bottom one and playing the game I was running at the top, and I was like, this is a neat thing. I don't want to do this anymore. I
do like cool. Opening up a Chrome browser or any kind of browser on the bottom screen and being able to be like, how do I turn this touchscreen off? I don't know Android very well, so also going around all the Android menus has been kind of interesting for me.
Yeah.
But Slay the Spire, to go back to that for a second, that game rocks. Everybody knows it's awesome. Everybody loves it. I can't wait to play the board game. I've beaten one run fully with the Ironclad, just so people know. I'm playing through it on the next character now. I think it's a lot of fun. I still am not fully on board with the art style. It was the thing I think that I bounced off of initially. It just doesn't click with me. I'm way less sensitive to it now that I've put hours and hours into it. But I still, when I take a second, I'm like, I just don't like how the art looks. It's just not my favorite kind of art style. But the gameplay is superb.
People are loving it.
Yeah, people love it, and I think they're loving too. And I will try and get the 2 soon. But I did want to get through some of Slay the Spire 1 first, so that when we play the board game, I know what's going on, and I do it for the kids. I do this for the kids. The
kids broadly.
This is the kind of game that I would really like for my kid to try and sort of investigate and maybe, work towards a way that he enjoys and plays. He's just not into things that are a little bit more complex and layered than the stuff that he's kind of playing. And
what's he playing now?
So he was ill a couple weeks ago and played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart in like a 2-day time span. He finished it, which I thought was like cool and worrying at the same time, But he wasn't going anywhere. He was on the couch, right? But he's mostly like a Minecraft and Fortnite guy. Loves Astrobot, loves Mario, loves that stuff. But anything that I think is sort of like, you know, like a tabletop, I think he kind of bounces off. He likes Lego Party, but that's really not what that is.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want him to kind of like care about like stats. You know, like I want him to like look at numbers and be like, yeah, I know, but you know, I gonna start to say to him, be more like Max.
I think the thing you gotta, so the thing you gotta get him over is the idea that math is for nerds, which it is. But also like that was very much my attitude toward those kinds of games and things like that when I was about his age, which was that if you're gonna make me sit there and count shit, I don't want to do it. Right. If you can find the inroad to de-emphasizing that aspect of it and like just demonstrate the more fun parts of what's going on there, I feel like you might be able to get him over it. But that's a hard wall to break through for a kid. I assume is not just like a math whiz, which I certainly was not.
He's into math. It's probably his best subject, but
see, it wasn't mine, that's for sure. And with his, you know, let's just say phys ed leanings, I figured maybe, you know, it was not his favorite thing.
You call my kid a jock?
I mean, he, based on everything you've told me, yes, actually. I mean, like maybe slightly nerdy jock, but a jock nonetheless.
If he was I mean, like he would be the warmest, most precious jock.
Hey, I knew some jocks that were pretty kind people. They weren't the majority of them, but I knew some who were very friendly, very cool people.
The most sensitive jock. I like that.
Yeah, label. They're out there. They live.
I mean,
they're
I was
totally
kind of a jock. Like I don't think I'm like a.
You played football, Vinny.
I played football, track and field. That's jockish, right?
Yeah. You tracked and field?
I did. I was a sprinter and a shot putter.
That I don't believe. Shot putter, I believe.
Remember, very good in small bursts.
Small bursts. Yeah,
small bursts.
Sprinting was the only thing I was any good at with running. Like, I could do like the whatever the 100-yard dash was or whatever.
Right,
and that was it. Yeah.
So I was a sprinter, relay, and long jump. All things that you just need bursts of speed to do. Like even long jump is like, I have big old tree trunk legs. I can get up to speed very quickly. Yeah, and then jump. But as soon as I'm past like 100 feet, I'm gassed. I'm just on the ground rolling around.
I would have like the gravity would have gotten in the way of long jumping.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was good. I could launch. It was why I was a good lineman too, because I could get off the line very quickly.
I believe. Yeah.
Well, you were offensive line
and defense. Yeah. And so
this is high school. You play both.
This is high school. Yeah. Sprinter.
I get it. I
where are you going?
I wouldn't have guessed it, but I can see how that would work. I actually like the mechanics of it makes sense to me now.
Where are you going so fast?
Nowhere now.
Well, where I went pretty fast was gaining an extra 60 pounds.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I believe it.
Yeah, it was. I had a slightly different build, but I was always a pretty thick lower body kind of kid with big old thick thighs and legs, thick.
You love to describe that. It's like your favorite thing to describe is your like fucking childbearing hips and quads.
Yeah, it's look, as someone who lived with it for a long time and made peace with it, who knew he would never be able to fit into a pair of H&M jeans in his life. This is my life I had to live. I was very happy when slightly loose-fitting jeans came into style. I was very unhappy when very tight jeans came into style. And I was like, well, this isn't a trend I'm doing ever in my life. I literally would go and get my size at like an H&M or a store that's like, these are smaller fitting frames, and they just couldn't even get past my knees. I'd be like, what are we doing? Knees. Oh yeah, just like go to pull them up and be like, it's my waist size. These feel like they're painted on.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool though.
All right, we're gonna go take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more video games right after this. Stick around. This week's show is brought to you by Quince. Alex Navarro. You know Quince.
I do. I have purchased from Quince in the past.
Quince, Quince. Now, look, I am not the most fashionable person in the world, but I feel like Quince is trying to help me out a little bit here. Quince has premium fabrics, considered designs, and everyday essentials that feel effortless to wear and are dependable, even as the seasons change, which they are doing here in New Jersey. And I have bought my yak wool sweater from them, which is time to put aside. It was very nice.
It is no longer yak wool weather. I understand that.
No, I think I need to go for another run here at Quince to get my, well, I would like to call it spring wear, but let's be real, it's going to be summer in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's plan ahead for the summer and cabana wear, I think.
Quince has everyday essentials with quality that lasts. Lightweight cashmere sweaters, short sleeve Mongolian cashmere polos, linen bottoms and shorts, tees in 100% Pima cotton and European jersey linen. And like I said, I am in Jersey here, so, Jersey linen.
Mm-hmm.
Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middlemen. You're not paying for brand markup or fancy retail stores, just quality clothing. And the cashmere is 100% Mongolian. Apparently, that's the same stuff the luxury brands use. The Pima cotton is long staple, which means it stays soft and doesn't pill. The European jersey linen is breathable and lightweight. Everything is built to hold up to regular wear and still look good. How can you get in on the Quince action? Well, you can go to quince.com/Nextlander for free shipping and 365-day returns. That's a full year to build your wardrobe and love it. Now available in Canada, too. Don't keep settling for clothes that don't last. Go to QUINCE.com/Nextlander for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Nextlander. Thanks, Quince. All right, we are back. And we got a couple of other games to talk about, and I didn't play too much else here because of being away and the vacations and whatever you got. We talked about it last week. But a game we did check out on something Friday last week. I think, Alex, the last day that you were out on vacation. We checked it out, Brad and I, and Alex, you played it. Screamer.
Yeah.
The kind of anime-inspired racer.
I'd say inspired is really underselling the degree of anime to which they have slathered this thing in. I mean, that's very much by design. I mean, they've been promoting it that way. So, but yeah, it's a European studio, I think, making it.
I think Italian.
Italian, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's get into it. How deep in are you? Because I didn't
a little
get
ways
too
into
far.
the campaign, but I'm going to be honest. I'm starting to bounce off of it because the pacing of this campaign is fucking insane at the top. Like the amount of driving they actually let you do in the the first hour of this game, is extremely low. Like there is a lot of cutscene, there is a lot of dialogue, there is a lot of character establishing. And then, like, each individual tutorial mechanic is given its own race section where you just learn how to do one thing. And then there's another bunch of cutscenes. They move on to the next thing. Eventually, you get to actual races and, like, a structure, and it gets a little bit better. But I was really put off right out of the gate. I was like, this driving is good. I don't know if it's good enough to put up with the amount of story that's happening, especially considering the story is just not that interesting.
Huh.
So somebody died in your... Okay, look, here's the fun... Okay, some fun stuff about this game.
Let's get fun.
Okay, it does have some anime aesthetics to it, though it is 3D models of people.
But all the character art is extremely anime.
Or anime coded, let's say. The teams are very international and very funny in their kind of cliche of like, okay, here is your team. Your team, I think, has an American, a French person, and an Irish person.
I think he might be Haitian. Because I think he could be French also. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I don't think they've actually said where he's from yet.
Sounds like he's speaking French at least.
Yeah.
And then, here is the Italian, I think
German and Hindi or Indian. She's speaking Hindi.
Yeah. Team, and then there is and the German guys. The voiceover is the voiceover. I think, and
it's all native language. Like it's the Tekken thing where everyone talks to each other in their native language, and they just pretend they understand each other.
Yeah. And I can't tell what is good voice acting in a non-English language or not. So it's just kind of fun. Though the Irish lady does just drop a lot of fucks.
Profoundly Irish. Intensely Irish.
It's just like
angrily Irish.
It's not like what the fuck. There's like weird maybe Irishisms that are just like let's go fuck, and it'll just be like what? That's the okay. Anyway, that stuff is very silly to me. There's like a corp one, right? Like where they all wear suits. And you're basically
there's also a guy who's a mechanic who's sort of like a blonde dandy, but he has a corgi that is like his assistant.
Yes, that wears sunglasses sometimes, and then puts cool tech in your car for some of the mechanics.
And the look, let me be clear. The driving in the game is actually pretty good. I wouldn't call it like astoundingly good, but it's, the drift mechanic is tied to the right stick, so you turn it and you spin the stick in the direction that you want to drift in,
which is cool. It works. Yeah.
It works pretty well. You do have to kind of learn the timing of like how early should I be hitting this versus not, but you can get into a good groove with it eventually. I think it looks great. It runs great. I just wanted something a little bit more dynamic from it, like as a future racer. It just kind of feels like these are regular race cars that have some cool track shit going on around the edges, but like they're cars, like they're just like kind of future-y looking cars. It's not Wipeout shit,
Right. Yes. And it is, there is some kind of like future-y setup with this race, which is going to get billions. The winner gets a bunch of money.
$100 billion prize, which I'm going to say inflation, maybe it's not the same as it would be right now.
And you do get some boost, at least as far as I got, right? There's a boost mechanic.
There's like an active reload mechanic for shifting, basically, where like if you shift at the right time, you get a little tiny speed boost that builds up to your overall boost meter, I think.
I don't know if you get other stuff beyond that, because like you said, Alex, in the time I spent with it, I think I raced maybe 2 or 3 times in the main story.
Yeah.
But then I did at least open up past the tutorial the other, hey, do you just want to race or do you want to go online and race? I didn't try those, though.
This is a $60 game. It is worth pointing out here.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be, because clearly they put some production in this thing. Like everything is voice acted. Like it feels like there is a decent amount to this game. I was just kind of put off by the fact that it is so invested in telling you this kind of middling story versus like letting you actually get into the racing, which feels like the meat of the thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think the racing is fine, and that's the problem. I think the racing is fine, and the storytelling is fine, and it doesn't add up to be
it's not amazing
special experience, right? Like there's just 2 things there, but I will take more like kind of anime or manga inspired anything, right?
Or just cool driving games. Like, please just try and do different things with driving games. Please do more of that at least. Like, I admire the spirit of this thing, if nothing else.
Yeah, there's a dearth of that stuff right now, for sure. I think Grubb played it and he seemed like he was enjoying what he played. He didn't mention how sort of like backloaded maybe the driving itself is, but
I do think once you get over that initial hour, it starts kind of feeding you more races. It takes a while.
Gotcha.
That is Screamer. That is out on the PS5, Xbox, and PC. Came out on the 26th, like Alex said, $60. Jeff Bakalar, you told me you've been playing a game called Raccoin.
Yes.
The Coin Pusher Roguelike?
Coin Pusher Roguelike. Did you not know the full post-colon title?
I did not. I did not get the. I don't know what a coin pusher is. Now I talked to you a little bit about it before the show. Yeah.
Wait, so you knew Alex, right?
I didn't know it by.
I just had to mute. Sorry, because I was about to sneeze. But yes, I think I do.
I did not know it by name. I think once you describe it, everybody will be like, "Oh, one of those."
Yeah, right. You've seen him in. I want to say at one point they were in real ass casinos.
Sure,
which seems cool.
Ask me how many casinos I've been in the last 10 years.
What's the answer to that?
Like maybe 2.
Oh, okay, that's more than I thought.
They're more like boardwalk amusements.
They're very much like kiddie style. Arcade ticket vomiters, right? Where you are basically dropping a coin into a sort of like Plinko-esque pegged board that finds its way to a shelf that is constantly moving forwards and backwards.
Yeah, and it looks like your coin is going to make the whole thing spill over into the bucket.
The object is to get the coins on the lowest platform to fall into the pit, and then you get tickets rewarded for each coin that falls in. I think in the casinos you get money, but I don't.
Sure.
I'm conflating whether or not I actually did see these in a casino at all. Anyway, And then when the coins fall in, you get tickets that you can cash in. Now, my experience is, like you said, the first shelf that is pushing the coins constantly, you have to time that coin insertion so that it goes and pushes coins off that first dip and into the second dip. And now that there's more coins loaded in the back, it will presumably push everything forward and you'll cash in. Yeah. The idea is that it looks much easier than it is, and you're going to waste your money on it. Yeah. Exactly. It's just a quarter vacuum.
Just you're better off doing that one where you put the quarter in and it's got that giant wheel thing that you spin, that like Wheel of Fortune style thing, or the Price is Right style thing. You go, "Ugh!"
I don't know if you are better off with that thing.
That one, or the fishing one where you got to jam on the thing and the fishing line goes down the screen.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're all scams, Vinny.
Wow. You know which one's okay? You know which one? I'll just say that because there's this place we go to all the time that has a bunch of these. There's a Space Invaders sit down one. Have you ever seen that one? The Space Invaders sit down. I think they set the threshold too low for the normies. And like I would just sit down on the thing and get 500 tickets on a clip, out of that thing,
which is fun. I love those freaks. I love those freaks who are just like. But then
you wind up with like 8,000 tickets, and you're like, "What am I? I don't know." I got a hand buzzer,
I could get a deck of cards that are like 1/4 the size of normal cards. Right. Cool.
Or like this, like the world's worst magic kit.
Yeah. Well, I could get ball in a cup. That's basically what you're
getting.
Yeah.
So stuff.
So now, this game is published by PlayStack, who of Balatro fame, and is developed by Raccoin. I think this might be their first title. Nevertheless, what if coin pushing games were Balatro? And that's
everybody's
basically
got their angle now,
and that's what this game is. And and I think where Balatro, it makes a lot of sense, obviously in hindsight, where you have the complexities of poker, right, mixed with a 52 card deck and all of these sort of angles and buffs and all these Joker things that you can add on to it. What this game tries to do is give you that same experience, but it is sort of curated around this very singular objective of like pushing coins into the pit. Now they get fun where you add like special coins, like some of them, for instance, they have these like piggy coins that once they find each other, they procreate and it gives you more coins. There's just a lot, very creative, really over the top too, because each machine that you play on has like a different angle to it. Like, oh, this one can shoot lasers, or this one, has some sort of, other kind of perk to it. It's heavily layered and heavily complex in the beginning, and you just have to keep playing until you realize like, oh wait, so all the perks do this. All of the special coins I'm buying at the end of each round do that. It can be, and I think what it does well is it captures that feeling of like, this looks easier than it is, but then it kind of like rewards you and says like, you know what, it's a video game, so we're gonna make it easier for you, and you're gonna scratch all the itches that you really want to scratch when you're playing one of these in real time. We're gonna make coins explode, and we're gonna make coins do ridiculous things. And I gotta say, I don't know if this has the runway, but it certainly has the same kind of quick, I need to play something for 15 minutes. I want this on mobile. Like, and I guess like you're just going to have to settle for.
Or do you actually want that on mobile? Because that sounds like it could be dangerous.
I don't know. Whenever I play Balatro on my phone, I'm there. I wind up being there for like 25 minutes, and it's way more than I want, Right. So you're right. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
But this, on its face seems like something you can kind of get away with. You could also like control a lot of the fidelity like you could in Balatro. And again, I'm only comparing it to Balatro because like, I don't know, same publisher
also.
Same publisher, very much the same aesthetic, almost from top to bottom.
Well, this is 3D, right? This has and physics on all the coins.
Yes,
right?
and the super satisfying physics, like almost on a level where you're like, oh, I'm surprised it feels that good and looks that accurate.
I'm watching videos of this and I want to go play it because there's just at some point mountains of coins that are just falling.
There's one perk where like a tower of coins starts to like rise from the center of that bottom shelf, and you're just like, oh my god, imagine those were like I don't know, money or edible or something. I want it. I want it.
It's just vomiting. This game is just vomiting coins at some point. Yeah, play it on your Thor. This sounds like a good. Get it on there.
It seems like a solid Thor game. You're right. I should have done that. But yeah, that is Raccoin, and I'm digging it. I it's funny. I was complaining earlier about like not having my kid play games that are like a little late. Maybe this is the wrong one to introduce him to, because there is a bit of a gambling kind of angle that you could sort of extract from this. But I mean, look,
I'm Dave and Buster's. This looks fun.
Yeah, what is Dave and Buster's if not a casino for 14-year-olds? So
it's true. I mean, it's kind of garbage games and tickets, right?
Exactly.
Isn't that just betting apps now? The casino for 14-year-olds? Because
don't say that.
No, I'm not joking, dude. Like, I straight up, I was talking to my therapist about this a couple of weeks ago. And I'm not, obviously, he didn't tell me any names or anything, but he did say that some of the clients he sees, which are kids, have been talking about straight up betting on their phones and using their parents' credit card. And some of them even have permission.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I know.
How could this have happened? I
don't know.
Well, I have a couple of ideas of how this could have happened.
Well, I don't. I sit here completely in the dark.
Okay.
I don't watch sports, and I am not.
That's bullshit.
A lie.
That is absolute bullshit.
And I am not inundated with every fucking icing call. They might as well have it. They might as well have it like projected onto the goddamn ice. I mean.
I think the story's kind of falling apart here a little bit.
Yeah, I'm betting on icing calls. Is that what you're saying?
They're betting on everything.
They run an ad when there's an icing. The 7 seconds that they have for everyone to travel to the opposite end of the ice,
that's all it takes.
They find a way for fucking FanDuel to come out and be like, you haven't blown all of your retirement money yet, have you? No.
Are you 14 kids? You got a little bit of time to get your parents' credit card right now.
The fact that my kid was 10 years old and knew what a money line was, knew what a spread was, it is shameful.
Mm-hmm. It is what I don't get, Alex. The part I don't get is the and this is an honest to goodness thing, and I never would give anybody parenting advice.
I would
be for somebody that young to have permission to go.
That's insane. You're right.
That to me, I could see a kid getting into it and swiping a card or trying to do it and experiment. But if a parent found out and be like, you should not do this, or look, maybe if a kid was really into sports.
No,
it
doesn't matter how into sports they are.
It's like giving them the cigarette. I don't understand.
A little bit.
It's just as potentially life ruining.
It is illegal. You are supposed to be 21.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
21, not even 18.
No,
I think you have to be 20. I thought it was 21 to use the app stuff, but maybe I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's 21.
Is it 21? Okay, so like you're right. So they couldn't technically cash out their bet, we assume, if they won under their they would be
if they're using their parents' credit card.
Yeah,
that effectively means they are using their ID, which means that they are able to do that.
Yeah,
presumably you'd be able. I mean, I would be surprised to see how many of these people are actually cashing out. Number one, because it really is just like letting it ride or having a bit of money in your balance to kind of just play with.
I don't think this is the norm, but I do feel like this is the downstream effect of having degenerate gambler parents. Like this is the sort of next step of that. Like it's not that far off from the parents who grew weed and therefore were very permissive about their kids going out there and experimenting. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Has this made it into any of the sports video games yet?
Oh, that's a good question, but I don't believe it has.
No, because you can't gamble on the games in the games. They haven't figured out how to extract that kind of money from you yet. They're still relying on microtransactions. I do think that DraftKings logos do appear in some stuff.
Okay, but you can't bet on, like, I can't bet if you guys were playing a hockey game or Madden, I couldn't place line bets.
Well, you probably could in the app, but you would have to do it on some sort of publicly viewable game, not just one that you're playing with friends.
There was absolutely a company that did this.
Oh yeah.
I forget what it was called. I remember when I was at CNET, we were approached by them and they were basically like, we're going to let people bet on multiplayer games.
I remember hearing something about that. I just didn't know if anything had ever actually manifested from that.
They were a live company. I don't know much beyond that where the company went, but I mean,
That's
just
rough.
seems so out of control and unregulated, and
It is.
with no sign of it ever being reined in anytime soon. I don't know. We are cultivating an entire generation of degenerate gamblers, and we are honoring their worst fucking inclinations. Like it's
or
just
exploiting. It's like to me, it just, again, I'm not part of this, but I always feel like it's the people who are the most vulnerable who end up getting crushed. You know,
but that's with everything, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I think gambling kind of like falls through the cracks is it's just not as like demonstrably sickening and gross. Right, where like you see someone who's like severely addicted to a drug.
Oh, like
right?
you can hide it a little
right.
bit.
Yeah,
it's very easy to hide until you run out of money.
Until you run out of money.
Right, and all of these things are just equally and potentially as life destroying and life ruining.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've said this on Bombcast a bunch. Like I think maybe Never Been a Better Podcast. I have friends who at any given point have like $3,000 to $4,000 out on the street, just like
tied up in
just tied up,
just like in accounts,
gambling.
ready to
That's
go.
just
ready to go. Like Super Bowl, forget it.
Forget it. Does it happen at live games? Like, do they advertise it? Like, hey, pull out your phone and like get the app for this next quarter.
I've not seen it live in a game. I would imagine
usually, like,
there might
halftime is where they will bring up like new prop bets and things like that.
Yeah, but that's maybe I've only seen that for the broadcast. Like the broadcast.
I've never seen it in an arena before.
In an arena? Okay,
and presumably
like
they wouldn't do it in the arena because like I just think you like there maybe is a last bastion of like separation there
right.
where like if like think about it, like you're a player on the ice and you hear over the loudspeaker like, oh, the Jack Hughes scores another goal, you know, like that's insane. I don't know.
I mean,
not
say that.
I know exactly. I'll believe anything. I've been to a ton of hockey games. I've not seen that.
Okay.
Again, I only go to hockey games.
Well, and the other thing is that like if you start getting into the more unregulated stuff, even beyond the straight up sports betting, you like the Kalshis and whatever the fuck else.
Yeah.
If you start promoting that shit in the arena, you are basically giving people license to fuck with the game to affect bets. Like that is basically what you are inviting by doing that. Mm-hmm. So I do think that is probably the cautionary thing that they are worried about if they start putting that stuff directly into the actual arena experience.
Yeah, I think that's got to be part of it. Yep.
But again, I'll say this again.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-gambling in totality. I am not even anti-sports gambling in totality. I think a little bit of regulated sports gambling that does not involve an app you can just pull up on your phone and throw your life savings into isn't the worst idea in the world. But the current system we have, and the one that we seem to have just willingly given ourselves wholesale over to, is going to be one of the ruins of the country. I'm not going to say it's the only one because we have a lot of those like kind of spinning right now.
Yeah.
We'll see which one crashes to the floor first.
Yeah, totally fielder's choice with that. But it's like, Alex is 100% right. We just go so mentally ill immediately with everything. Like there's no like subtle, there's no like gradual like, oh, let's dog feed this. Let's like test this out.
It was like 2 years and then suddenly every DraftKings scumbag in a fucking in a flannel blazer is out there talking about fucking prop bets and the fucking spreads right after the actual people you want to hear talk about the sport are like, all right, and I guess now it's time for the betting line. See ya. And then fucking, you know, like Smooth Jimmy comes on with his lock of the week. It's just like, fuck this shit, man.
It's insane. And look, you know, this is not unique to sports. I mean, it is everything. It's the stock market. It is well, and again, like the greater betting app thing has a much greater impact on everything in a much more fucked up way than even just the sports betting stuff. Like DraftKings is not letting you bet on fucking death markets. And now fucking Kalshi is also saying, well, actually, we don't either because the government won't let us. But still, it's just like this idea that like, well, what if we just applied the sports gambling mentality to literally fucking anything? Like that is okay, we have officially breached a wall here and we need to figure out how to fix this. And the thing that kills me the most is the marketing too, of just how like
it's gross,
sugar coated and lollipop.
I just don't see it.
They present the experience of like
you're lucky.
Of like, oh hey, you're watching sports. That must suck. Why don't you make sports not suck
What if sports
by
were
having
interesting for once?
Interesting.
Yeah, have some skin in the game. Why wouldn't you want to be directly financially tied to the outcome of an event you have no control over whatsoever? Why is that not appealing to you, asshole?
Yeah,
and
motherfucker. You're still playing fantasy sports?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be real satisfying, mother-fucker. Hey, check it out. Give me your fucking kids' college money to make this fucking football game industry, all right?
And that's not even an exaggeration.
It's barely an exaggeration.
That is exactly how they do it. All these fucking assholes at sports bars, they were frowning until they pulled out their fucking app.
Yep.
And now they're happy.
Now their lives mean something.
Yeah. It's disgusting in a way I cannot describe. And I feel like, I've been beating this drum for what feels like almost a decade and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
And all it has gotten is more out of control and more unruly and totally we've lost the thread, and it's gross. And it's not unique to America either.
No,
I don't want to act like
we are at the vanguard
uniquely
of it, to be fair.
Yeah, like European football has always been like very, very closely tied with gambling and ingrained in that culture.
But you know what you would have to do? You would have to go to the seediest, most fucked up betting place in fucking the back alleys of fucking London. You would have to sit there with dudes that look like side characters from Snatch, and you would have to sit there and face the reality of what you were doing. That's the difference.
Yes, there's no consequences.
The actual reality of the degeneracy around you has been siphoned out, and now they're trying to wipe it squeaky clean. Fuck that. All gambling is cigarette stained and full of the fucking shittiest, scummiest, fucking most perverted motherfuckers you've ever met in your life. And you have to face up to that if you really want to be a gambler.
That is the thing, right? Like, you should have to go through that sort of like filter before you actually, and it's so goddamn easy. All you got to do is like blink and your phone's like, I accept that verification. You have, it's
like going to an orgy for the first time. You have to decide when you walk through that door, am I an orgy person now? Is this what I'm doing with the rest of my life? And you have that doorway to decide whether I am or I am not.
Yeah,
it's like going to the strip club. You know you're gonna smell like cocoa butter and different types of skin lotions, and that's the price you pay.
Yep.
The only thing easier in this country is buying a gun. That's it.
That's right. Well, we're gonna get to more of that. First, we're gonna take a quick break. This week's show is brought to you by Fan Kings.
Oh my God, that
you came up with a fake name. Thank God.
That was organic in a way that I genuinely, my heart skipped a beat. I was like,
we turn those fucking down, man. We always turn those down.
Holy shit.
Good, I got you. You know what we saw when we were in a hotel? I think when we were just in Boston. We were watching TV, and it was. Oh no, this is maybe when we were out in Vermont. And it was one of those TVs that had 3,000 channels on it. And I'm not exaggerating, like 3,000 channels. And it looked like it was just like pulling stuff off of YouTube at some point. And the commercials that would come up during it were, I don't know what you call them. They're like slot machine apps on your phone.
Yeah.
They would just be like,
there's
match
tons of those.
3. Yeah. And it would just be like people that look like influencer videos being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, and then be like, check, you just won like $5,000. And we must have seen about 20 of those in the course of watching.
Because that's who's advertising on channels that far into the lineup now, because no one has TV, let alone that much TV anymore.
That was kind of wild to be like, this is a part of the world sometimes where you're like, oh, we don't see this in my house at all.
Yeah.
Like we didn't, and kind of like you guys are talking about the sports betting, we don't watch a lot of sports. And I feel like during the Super Bowl, during the play-by-play, I don't see it because that's the only sports thing I really watch. I don't see the stuff you guys are talking about. Like between every call or flag, there's not like a call to make a bet during the Super Bowl. There's advertising for them, but not like that. So I don't see it that much. When you guys talk about it, it's like a world I just don't know. I don't know a lot of people who are betting.
You're better off. I mean that.
But I do know that, yes, Alex said we do get pitched, or we've told them not to stop pitching us on those
we haven't gotten one in a while.
And that also, I've seen the stories about it. And it's just funny to me that, like, we went through all of this with loot boxes in the game world, and now we're basically here where they're like, I don't know, we just kind of gave up. We're just like,
we already indoctrinated the children with gambling, so there was really no stopping this.
All right.
It's like the one true human constant.
Gambling and murder.
It just feels like it's something that I don't know. It's just kind of pre-programmed in a weird way that it is so easy. People are so susceptible to it.
They are. Yeah.
And I also think a lot of it has to do with like things that are like intuitively sort of like confusing, right? There's like there's a lot of stuff in math that like is like where you have this like inaccurate perception of like your odds, right?
Totally,
and I think
humans are terrible at that.
We're so bad at that, especially when it comes to like exponents and stuff like that. Like
and number literacy,
stuff.
at least here in the States, is terrible. It's why Trump can get up there and be like, we've got 60, 70, 150% discounts on your favorite drugs.
Totally. It's this counterintuitive probability stuff that humans are just like like a fish to water. They just cannot fucking shake it.
Yeah.
Well, they look at it. I feel like they look at it. What I have found, this is anecdotally, but I'm sure there's studies, when it is against you. If you were to be like, look, if you get in your car, there's a 1 in 100 chance you're going to die. And you'd be like, oh, well, I'm not fucking getting in my car. But if you're like, there's a 1 in 100 chance you might win some money, then you're like, yeah, totally. That is right. The odds are in my favor. And maybe that's just because the stakes are different, but I feel like human brains just do weird things with probability that when you sit down and recontextualize or take things out of be like, I'm going to line up 100 people and I'm going to hit one in the nuts with a baseball bat. You want to get in that line? I mean, 99 other people are going to walk away fine. And they're like, no, man, I might get hit in the nuts. Or we're like, all right, how about one out of 100 of these people are going to lose $1,000? And you're like, yeah, okay, I'll take that risk.
I like that. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's wild that the casinos, the physical casinos that you used to go to with all their blaring lights and all their carnival barking and the circus-like atmosphere, that is the most inaccessible thing, right? Like your phone, they've eliminated all the steps to conversion.
Yeah.
Right. Like the step, like it's just A to B now, and because all of those steps have been consolidated into one, you have an epidemic.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
And look, this is your guys' world. I don't want to step too far into it.
Oh, this is not my world. What do you mean it's my world?
No, I live here. That's fine.
But
I live in degenerate land.
I don't understand because I live in the world outside of sports with the what you were talking about, Alex. What do they call those? The real market, poly markets.
Yeah, poly market, that kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I live in that world. I look at that. I'm like, how does anybody trust anything that gets decided because they're all insider betting on it? How does that not just happen with sports at this point where anybody trusts anything with all the betting going on?
It does happen.
It's happening all the time now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so aren't you ruining, like when I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, all the people in this administration are just putting bets down before they go invade countries, before they go do all this stuff. And then if I were a sports fan, I'd be like, I'm never watching sports again because this is probably all people just making inside bets.
Vinny, I feel like you are just catching up right now. Crime is legal.
Yeah.
I don't know where you've been.
Sorry.
For the better part of like the century. The better part of the century, crime has been legal.
Yeah.
Crap. Crap. I got to go back in my little pod.
Yeah, you forgot we got rid of consequences. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right,
this has been Smooth Jimmy's Pod of the Week.
Yeah, right. Look, let's get to a couple of other things here before we take our break and talk about the game industry where nothing bad ever happens.
Speaking of horrible gambling.
Alex, you jumped into a little bit of that Marvel Maximum collection.
Yes.
I saw this the other day and was like, man, I think I might want to pick this up. This is basically a bunch of the Marvel beat 'em ups in one collection.
Yes, it is. It is specific.
That's cool.
Well, it's not all just beat 'em ups. They basically all. I mean, Spider-Man and the X-Men versus Arcade is more of a straight up like platformer than a beat 'em up.
Okay.
And I think maybe that Silver Surfer game that's also in there is. I haven't played that game in a million years. But yes, the big marquee thing here is the X-Men arcade game, which was at one time available as an online concern back on the Xbox Live Arcade days, but never made its way off of that platform. And now it is here, and it is available to play on the internet, though. Good luck finding anyone who isn't your friends just hosting a lobby in that game. I looked last night. There was literally no one. But that said, I did play a bunch of these. And I played a bunch of these before. I owned Spider-Man and the X-Men for the Super Nintendo. It was like the second Super Nintendo game I ever bought, and boy, do I regret that.
Hell yeah.
That game is dog shit. Oh my God. I had forgotten how, like, the first level of that game is dog shit. It is bad. But they did a good emulation on it, if nothing else. And there are multiple versions. Like, there are, like, Mega Drive version, there's the Super Nintendo version, sometimes there's, like, a Game Gear version. And if there is an arcade version, that is always there as well.
So this game, this package here, this is put out by Limited Run. I'm just going to read down what it's got. Like you said, X-Men the arcade game, the arcade version of that. Captain America and the Avengers. They have the arcade, the Genesis, and the 8-bit version of it, which I don't. There's
you
an
didn't
NES
like that?
version.
Oh no, that game's not good, dude. That game, like the sprites are bad, like the mechanics aren't that great. Like it's kind of a downgrade in every way from that X-Men game.
Wait, well, so they've got the arcade version of that at my local, all you can play place. And I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot about this thing. And I played it a little bit. It's obviously not as like prolific and sort of like
it's not as exciting,
good as X-Men. But I had a good amount of fun with it.
It's not broken.
My
or
memory
anything.
is good of it.
It's
but,
not. It's not broken. It's just kind of bland.
Move.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So which one of them was Data East, right? One was Konami, something like that.
Konami that's the X-Men arcade.
Yeah, Konami did X-Men arcade.
Right. Okay.
And so what else is in here? We got Spider-Man, Venom, Maximum Carnage.
Not bad.
That I never played.
That game's not all right. That game's pretty all right.
Separation and Anxiety, another Venom Spider-Man.
Don't remember that one at all, actually.
Spider-Man, X-Men Arcade's Revenge, and then Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
I should mention that on Steam it has mixed reviews right now, with a lot of people saying that some of this is pretty messed up, like buggy, and it's just stuff is not working the way it should be.
Interesting. Okay.
I have not touched this. Some people also, really, really like it. I think these games, generally the people I have read in the comments are like, these are the games you'd want in this collection.
Totally.
It's just the implementation is not super great.
So that's interesting. I'm curious what the bugs are, because I did notice a little bit of emulation glitchiness with that Avengers game, I felt like, but I didn't really notice anything in X-Men or the two Super Nintendo ones I played.
Some people are saying lockups online, freezing.
Okay. I didn't play online because, again, there was no one playing online.
Yeah. And then some stuff I don't know more about. Again, I don't know much about the emulation on it, and some stuff. Some people were talking about the physical copies of it being a weird thing.
So there's one quirk I will say about the X-Men one, which is that if you choose to play the 6-player version, you have to decide what character you're going to be, and you are locked into that character for the entire run. Like, it doesn't do the thing where you can swap between different characters. They're just like, hey, which character you want to play? Cool. That's where all your credits are going to get dumped into.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't think that's the same in the 2 and 4-player versions, because those did have the choose your character select thing on there. And since this is just a straight emulation of the 6-player version, I can see why maybe they would do that.
So some people are like, hey, with some work, this could be very cool, but controller rebindings, et cetera, et cetera. It is price wise $25. And
I think it would really just depend on how severely you love those particular games. Like, it's fun to have a working version of Spider-Man and the X-Men around that isn't, I don't have to find a cartridge for, which I still have for some reason. But booting that game up was enough. I'm good. I now remember just why I fucking hate that game, because it's bad. It's not as bad as that X-Men NES game, but it's bad.
That is Marvel Maximum Collection, and I think that's going to do it for the games. A couple of other things just kicking around in the background, more Pacopia still going on, more Marathon still going on. But we'll get back to that. Hopefully we'll talk more Resident Evil when Brad comes back, see if he's had a chance to play some more. Bakalar, did you play any RE9?
I finished it.
Okay. Oh, nice. Made it all the way through.
I love that shit. Man, I could not put that down. I need one of those pretty much every year now. Well,
I think we're on track. So,
well, yeah, it does seem like that. But whether or not it's mostly a really polished survival horror thing.
I really liked it as well.
Yeah.
I went back in. I don't know if I told you. I mentioned here a couple of times. I went back in and did the platinum for it.
You're a sicko.
Yeah, it was real fun though. It was real fun. And I'll mention it here again. The best playthrough I had. I wound up having 3 or 4 playthroughs. My favorite one was the infinite ammo on the hardest difficulty. Was my favorite playthrough. It was just challenging enough, but still fun and silly because you had infinite ammo.
Well, how long does it take to get through when you're doing like a replay like that?
If you want to if you put it on easy, there's actually a trophy and a CP point achievement for beating it in under 4 hours. So you can. I beat it in under 3 on one.
Really?
Run. Yeah. So I mean, look, when you have infinite ammo and you're just racing around.
Yeah, but there's still a bunch of like
some
fetch questy stuff,
yep.
right? Like you're still like, oh, I got to bring this. So many cranks. There's nothing but cranks.
So many cranks. But you can skip a lot of stuff. Like the puzzles, some of the puzzles remain the same. Some of the times you're just like, hey, I know the code to this thing already, and like, let's just go.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of Capcom has done a pretty cool thing, especially with the Resident Evil games, of being like, hey, you did the hard work, now just have some fun. Let's just have some fun.
Yeah, they should present that more transparently, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like, to me, especially, I remember you guys talking about Silent Hill F, where it was like, I know it's a different maker, but that all of a sudden was like, oh wow, I would never go back to that game.
I know, right,
and sit through all that stuff. But like, maybe there's a way where it's a little less painful, and you can kind of do it and get what you need out of it. It's good to hear. Same sounds true for RE9.
Imagine starting that game with unlimited bullets in the Requiem, right? And you're just like, okay, that's a different game.
Yeah,
okay.
That's just okay.
Right.
That's we've
like rolling around with grace and being like, oh, well, this is silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe what? I had so much fun. Like, I don't know about you guys. Like, do you ever just like stare at the objects that you acquire? Like when you're in the hospital. And you just have to collect those 3 sort of translucent cubes.
Yeah.
You ever look at one of those cubes?
Don't look in the cube. You don't want to look at the cube. Don't stare too much. Don't stare in the cube. That's why Emily can hold the cube.
I think like that's why like maybe I want the dice, because that looks like a die. Like those.
Someday you're gonna be asked to put those in a door just to get out of the hotel.
That's fine. And who put I know this is gonna just sound like stupid. Like, who's putting all these traps together?
We've done this every year. Alex and I do this bit.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. The contractors for Resident Evil,
mm-hmm. Right? And then like what's his face? Who's the first baddie? What's his name
in Resident Evil?
Yeah.
9? I don't want to spoil too much, but there's the guy with the glass things, the glasses things. Yeah,
he's sort of like a Dr. Octopus kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I'm making my way through all this shit, and I'm just resetting all the traps for you after I get through.
I can get through any door I want.
I thought I enjoyed him as a villain.
He's
a good cackling piece of shit. I do like that. I always love a good evil scientist.
Yeah.
Am I sure glad?
Calm guy.
And not to spoil anything, I'm sure glad I did both endings at the end, because I think I chose the wrong one first.
Oh, I definitely did. Yeah. I'm glad they're like, hey, do you want to try this again?
Hey,
take
dummy.
another stab at this one?
Hey, dummy. You want to
rethink this? You dumbass.
I know you don't have to play the whole thing.
Motherfucker.
We know you. We know you. Just reload right here. It's fine.
I appreciate that. You want another 45 minutes? Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to call it there for the games. We're going to go talk about some news, but first we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this. All right, we are back, and it's time for what is going on in and around the video game industry. And things keep happening despite their best efforts. Things do keep happening. Probably the biggest news I saw happen recently was this whole PlayStation PS5. We're going to raise them up even more. Folks,
man,
they just can't help themselves. They just can't stop. Sony has confirmed another price increase on the PS5. We've got the PS5 digital edition in US dollars going for $600. That's an increase of $100. And the PS5 Pro is going up to $900. That's a $150 price increase. $900.
And what's the problem?
It's a 6-year-old console.
Sorry,
5.5 years.
Usually, if folks don't know, like Bakalar, who's new to this. Consoles generally would see a price decrease as we get closer to the end of a cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a flipping of the script here.
Yeah.
Huh.
Usually they would start going down because, sales are waning and we're going to make room, selling through inventory. We're going to sell our next one. In the last, cycle or two, we've had the pro versions of things or, they kind of try to boost it up again. And then you usually saw a decrease on your standard version or there's some kind of manufacturing change and it's a slim model or something like that. We have now seen multiple increases across old consoles. This sucks.
Yeah.
Because everything else is expensive too. It's not just this.
So it's keeping pace, really.
You noticed that.
I noticed. Look, I don't want to alarm anybody, but it's getting expensive out there. So this one I'm really interested to see what happens as we roll into our next generation, because we kind of were joking around a little bit about, was it Project Helix, Microsoft's next thing, and be like, well, is this going to be like a pushing above $1,000? And right now I feel like, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, it stands to reason that it would. I would say we can be informed by the past, but also should not take anything from the past to inform our present and future, because we are certainly in unprecedented times.
You say we're in the, what is it? A horse is in the hospital.
Yeah, the Mulaney thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
nobody's seen a horse in a hospital.
He goes, he used the elevator. What? He's the best. So, I don't know. What I can't understand, right, is there used to be this idea, and I said this a little bit on Bombcast this week, used to be this idea of okay, well, even if you have to take a little bit off the top in the beginning, you have to eat a little bit of shit in terms of revenue. Yeah. It's worth it in the long run because you're establishing the ownership of the land of the platform, right?
Yeah. But 6 years in.
6 years in, I guess, right? But it that's what I can't understand. It doesn't make sense that you would make this as inaccessible as possible. I realize the cost is going up to manufacture them. I'm not saying that is not also happening, but the fact that you're making these so unreachable for normal people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would almost, to me, there's inventory that we've not exhausted for I feel like where are all the PS4s that were unsold? Get those out of the way and sell those at this point, because if you're just trying to get people to be invested in this ecosystem, this isn't going to happen regardless of what you're paying to produce these things.
I'll just say I'm of the opinion that while I do understand all these costs going up and things like that, I understand there are factors at play here.
It's challenging.
It's challenging. It's a challenging marketplace for anyone who is shipping electronics, especially in this country. The problem I'm running into is that this smacks of, we know we are at the tail end of this console. We know that we're not going to sell a ton more PS6s at this point. The Switch 2 is out there. That is sort of the newer, hotter device. There are people who are the psychos that are buying, various PC-related handheld devices and things like that. There's a lot of different ways to buy video game hardware now. The PS5 has been around for a while. I think they are just banking on, well, if we're going to keep selling these things, I guess we have to just, we have to figure out a way to bolster this, because we are no longer expecting to sell millions of these consoles over the long run. I don't know that this strikes me as a great strategy for it. I understand they are just trying to mitigate some costs here, but it puts a bad taste in people's mouth, is what I think happens here, ultimately. When the PS6 does come around, and especially if that console ends up costing $1,000 when they put it out, people are going to remember this and be like, oh, so you've decided this is the norm now. People are going to be put off by this. People are not going to buy PS5s at that rate, maybe at the digital rate, but probably those pro models at $900. I cannot envision a whole lot of people in 2026 going out and buying those.
Exactly.
So you're kind of kneecapping the perception of your whole brand when you do shit like this. I understand it's for circumstances that have to be mitigated, but it puts a bad taste in people, and especially if that Xbox also comes in at like over $1,000, whatever the next one is.
At the base,
you are really pricing a lot of people who are sort of the base level of the, you know, the console consumer. You're essentially saying kids don't get to play these anymore.
Yeah. Now, look, we're you know, we're not in completely uncharted territory. What was it? The PlayStation 3 was relatively expensive. We've had like, boutique things relative to inflation. Consoles were expensive.
I'm going to say right now, the last thing they want you invoking is the PS3.
You're totally right.
You're right.
Like, if you fucking say Neo Geo, Vinny, I'm just saying, like, there were things that were expensive, and you're right. Or like, was it not the CDI? Was it some of those things were just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's some of those early like CD consoles were fucking insane,
and nobody wants to be that person. But like I said, it's a combination of things where, you know, games are probably going to go up again, if I had to guess. And when you have somebody looking at a $600, $700, $800 console come holiday season, but also your health insurance, car insurance, home insurance, and rent
everything
has all gone up as well.
Right.
That starts to look like a what are we doing situation, right?
Not to be all, you know, looking out for people and what they pay at the pump, because good Lord, that is a fucking a refrain I'm tired of hearing these days. But that kind of is what we're talking about here, right? It's just cost of living going up everywhere, every single resource going up. And so it's just like, you know, are people really going to be prioritizing expensive consoles, especially old ones, with everything else fucking kind of crumbling economically? And my inclination is to say absolutely not.
Right.
Yeah. So, right. A lot of factors going into this, not the least of which is some of the RAM and silicon shortages that are going on, but also the bigger macroeconomic stuff that is just happening in the world. It just, when I look at this as somebody who is in this, doing this for a living, that will probably buy these, even I am like, this gets into weird, damn, that is too much
weird
money.
Territory.
Yeah. And like, we're like, hey, we're probably going to buy one because we do this for a living. And I'm still like, man, I don't know.
I don't know.
You're hitting a boundary that's real uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's just to what end, right? Like that's kind of what you said. It's like to what end? How
does this benefit you in the long run?
Exactly.
I don't think it does. I think this is very short-term thinking, which I get. Some of that short-term stuff maybe is kind of dire, and maybe they really do have to make a dent in this because their fucking end-of-year, you know, financials will look fucking bad if they don't. But I just don't think it's going to have a net effect of, you know, people actually going out and buying these consoles.
And we'll see what happens with next generation. It's going to be a very, very interesting one, mostly less on the graphics and horsepower side and more on the strategic partnership side, because Microsoft wants to put all their stuff, or at least they used to. I don't know about if they still do, because they did kill the Xbox. This is an Xbox brand, but they did want to put their stuff everywhere. So if you're in price out of sync with other platforms you could play these games on, their first party stuff is going to be a weird sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Nintendo, not to be outdone, but you know, Nintendo is Nintendo, basically confirms that their physical versions of their games are going to be more expensive than their digital versions, or they will be priced differently, whether you want to look at that as a different side and say your digital version will be less than your physical version.
Right.
So this had been happening in other territories. I believe if you're in the UK, you might have seen a lot of this happening where physical versions were priced differently than digital versions. There was that whole thing with Mario Kart where the physical and the digital were $10 different, but they are basically confirming that this is going to be the case moving forward in the majority of territories. This is a thing I always thought we'd wind up in. You know, Nintendo's usually the ones who take these weird steps first because everybody else is a little skittish about doing it.
Yeah.
And Nintendo also is still a fairly physical retailer of their games. A lot of companies have just moved to all digital, or a lot of publishers have. So it makes sense for them to do it. Again, whether or not you look at it as like 80 versus 70, 70 versus 60, is somebody getting a discount? Is somebody getting charged more? It's going to be kind of on you or the consumer to kind of, it feels to me like this one actually kind of makes sense. I think always we should have had digital versions be a little less expensive than the physical version. I mean, you have all of logistics, printing, shipping and all of that stuff versus server costs. So Nintendo, it sounds like they're still holding firm on their console prices, whether that remains to be seen as we move forward here. But
they did slash their projections for how many they were going to sell, I think, in the US this year. So,
to be clear, they've not raised the Switch 2 price.
Not yet.
We'll see. So that's Nintendo. Also, I don't know if you saw, but how do you guys feel about Star Fox? You guys see this Mario movie? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you're basically just Mario Karting that shit at this point and just throwing the rest of the Nintendo universe in there. But it's a multiverse movie, I think, and also whatever. Yeah. The bigger thing is the reviews of that movie are fucking savage, dude. Holy shit.
Bad.
Oh, are they?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen any of that.
I'm a little surprised.
Oh, they're coming back not so great?
Not so great.
Not so, like,
my son's going to see it on
great.
Friday. He's got off on school on Friday.
You're not going?
Describe it as an intolerable, joke-free experience.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I'm starting to think, like, everyone was a little too nice about the first one.
I wasn't.
That movie's just not good.
I think we were both, like, Alex, you and I think we're both like, yeah, it just didn't do anything.
It just barely
was
tried.
There.
Yeah. And I feel like now the shackles are off, and it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. Now it's going to make $1 trillion, but
it'll do fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
Nintendo quote unquote insider Nate the Hate says we're also getting Star Fox coming back. Quote Star Fox.
Get your Star Facts correct, okay? Come on.
We'll just take a quick break here. This week's show is brought to you by Star Fax.
Fax machines, they're back somehow.
Star Fox is coming back in the summer of 2026, where for those not keeping track is the summer. We're getting a new Star Fox game in the very near future, says Nate the Hate. I've been told it's a classic style Star Fox game, that the visuals are supposed to be very good, and I've heard it does have online multiplayer. End quote.
All right, so if it's a classic Star Fox style game, it'll be mostly flight combat. It'll be about 2.5 hours long, and it'll be a thing you replay over and over and over again. So that sounds great.
Sure. I mean, maybe they got tired of everybody else making Star Fox clones. And
they've only made like 5 of those games, haven't they?
I know. There's not
many. Nintendo?
And I'm including the ones that like Namco made, like the one where you drive a tank around and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't make a lot of them.
Yeah, I almost to the point where like I question myself. I'm like, do I have the wrong understanding of his popularity?
Well, you don't play Smash Brothers, okay? So
I don't play Smash.
There's that aspect of it, but also Star Fox 64, or if you want to go back to the Super Nintendo one, that's 2 games. There are 2 games, and
pretty
those
big games though.
They're great games.
Yeah.
They are all minimum 30 years old.
and that's the thing. Like these games are for us, to be clear.
Yeah.
Like
these games have been able to rent cars for 5 years now.
Yeah. I don't know. I was never taken away. Like Star Fox means next to nothing to me. I know I'm probably
love 64. Great game. That's it. That's what it means to me.
In the minority for our age group, but okay. I would much rather have this come out after a new 3D Mario, but do whatever you want. It's your world. We're just living in it.
I'm not even that mad about the because there was a thing in there that said new Mario probably not coming until next year, which I'm like, fine, whatever. Like it has been a while since Odyssey, but I kind of feel like with Mario, I am perfectly content to let them cook as long as they need to, because I've played so many 3D Marios at this point. Like, just take whatever time you need to make a good one. There's plenty out there for me to play.
Yes.
Like you said, the Mario stuff, and then there was one more thing in there where it is reported again by Nate the Hate that we should be getting, or there's possibly an Ocarina of Time remake coming for the Switch 2, which again
tore me apart.
Why?
Why?
Well, because it's 2 sides of me.
Okay.
One, the one that is completely done with remakes at this point and reboots and other stuff of like old games. Like, God, I've played so fucking many at this point. Like, just make something new. At the same time, you are remaking my favorite Zelda game. Fuck, I kind of have to pay attention. I kind of have to care about that. Like, it's tearing me apart.
I think that's okay. I think you could be excited about it. It's an old ass game.
It is.
That 3DS version was good, right?
It was.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how remake they're going. Like, I don't know if they're completely redoing everything or if they are just giving it new graphics engine or what.
Right, because that was the 3DS one, was just kind of like a up-res.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
either way, I'm excited to hear more about what they are doing with that, because I feel like if they're breaking that particular glass, then we're not getting another Zelda for a while.
Going back to the movie real quick, just
Yeah,
one other
please.
thought. I forget who I was talking about this with yesterday when the review started to pour out, and it was just like, oh dear. I guess my wonder is like, why can't we get like a movie like this that has the sort of like nuances of like an Inside Out? Like, why does Mario have to be dumb as fuck and not work? You know what I mean? Like, yes, obviously something like Inside Out is written by like great writers, and like it's a whole other thing, and it's built from the ground up for that thing, and it's less of like a shoehorning of, but like, get me halfway there. Get me a quarter of the way there, you know?
So I have an answer for you, and
Okay.
I think this is genuinely what it is. It's two things. One, Illumination is not Pixar.
No.
I mean, they are not even current Pixar, let alone Pixar at their peak. That said, that is not me saying I hate Illumination or the stuff they do. I think they work very well in a more Looney Tunes style kind of approach, which is that jokes and, family awes first, and then you kind of get to the story, like, meat stuff second. Like, they are there for the gags and the visual stuff more than anything else. And they do that well. I think when they're working on their principal properties, they do that stuff well. The thing that is fucking this up is it feels like Nintendo has an iron grip on this thing, and they have since they did the first movie. Like, the way they do the communications through their own official Twitter account. This is Miyamoto, Chris San, all this fucking bullshit. It feels like
junkets, yes.
It feels like they would not agree to do another Mario movie unless they got to get their grubby fingers into every aspect of its production and make sure that nothing that even smelled like the live-action Super Mario movie ever happened again.
Which is Bob Hoskins, rest in peace. But which is a shame if this is a multiverse movie. It's kind of what you'd want, and a good wink and a nod to at least have them peer into a world
That'd be all right.
where John Leguizamo is there or somebody and be like,
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, right? And be
just
like,
Dennis Hopper being like, what the hell's this?
Dennis Hopper's dead, but maybe Mojo Nixon could show up.
No, they could figure it out.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Just be like, what are you? I'm a Goomba.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I think they are completely allergic to the idea of doing any real storytelling with Mario.
Totally.
They are there to give you fan service bukkake, and that's it.
all over.
Just
right?
all over your. Here is the fucking. Here's Star Fox all over your fucking face. Enjoy.
Are you sure we got multiple titles for this this podcast?
Yeah.
I think the one I gave you is probably better for SEO. If I'm being real.
It's true.
Which depends on which kind of SEO you want.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. We got a couple of stories. This one. Disney, Disney and Nintendo always feel very similar to me, but Disney, it's coming out from Alex Heath, who is a tech journalist who was on a podcast called The Town with Matt Belloni, says, Belloni, not Baloney, by the way, that Disney might be Epic curious, might be wanting to buy Epic Games. Now, Heath says, quote, I know for a fact there are senior executives in Disney who want to buy Epic and are just waiting for that moment. And there are others who think it's a bad idea.
Okay, which one do you think John Drake is?
I don't know.
Where do you think he falls on that argument? Because I honestly don't know. I feel like it's on the bad idea side, but I could be 100% wrong.
It doesn't matter if you're John. Are we giving serious answers here?
Yeah. He's the only executive I know at Disney, so yes.
Yeah. Even if it's a bad idea, I want it because I'm going to get paid out. Like, that's it. You know, like.
This is a lot of zeros in a deal.
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't lay off a quarter of a workforce.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Unless you're making the books look good.
Exactly. And the three of us have all had front row seats at this kind of machinational bullshit numerous times. Like,
it did not cross my mind at first that they were looking to sell. And and this is a big thing because Tim Sweeney does not feel like the kind of guy who is necessarily ready to lose total control over Epic Games.
Everyone's got a price. I think.
Yeah.
Again,
which is funny because he's already rich as shit.
Exactly.
He's like a billionaire, like a billion times over.
Could not be richer in a way that would help him.
Yeah,
that
would mean anything.
They could always be richer.
Exactly. So, look, I don't want to jump to conclusions here. I think, you do that, and then this story, that story was already gaining a little bit of traction before the layoffs behind closed doors. And now you're telling me like, oh, these are not related. Okay. Again, it is speculation. It stands there. It is a reasonable assumption to connect these two things.
Yeah. I think that's fair. It's an interesting choice on Disney's part if they decide to actually go forward with this. Because, well, there's two things. Obviously, it's a pretty easy pitch to say, well, you already do a bunch of deals with us for Fortnite shit, so it makes sense that you would just run Fortnite. Sure, why not? You're getting a deprecated Fortnite when you do that, though. Like, this is not Fortnite at its peak. It's still very popular. It is still one of these 6 games everyone plays, but it is no longer the fucking 900-pound gorilla that it was, like, even a few years ago.
Sure.
It still does well, but the game has bugs. Like, people complain about the stat of it's gotten very stagnant in terms of its development. And a lot of their initiatives, like the concert stuff and other things, seems like they have not fully panned out the way they hoped.
But that could, and again, we're just kind of speculating here. That could open up Sweeney to a little bit more of like, this is the next step.
Yeah,
like, this is the next move.
But when you do that, you also take over a marketplace for games. You are no longer just a game publisher in that situation. You are now selling video games. So do you shutter that? Do you say we're not in the game selling business anymore? Or is that something Disney also wants to be a part of? Because to me, if I'm Disney, that's a liability, not a help.
Yeah. I don't want to sit here and claim to like, and LARP as like the C-suite team of like, oh, all the ideas that they could have and won't have and what's the right strategy and all that stuff.
We're a podcast. That's all we do.
Sure. My point is that a lot of this stuff, quite frankly, and we also have seen this directly in front of us, happens on the back of a napkin. Like this stuff can, like there is a way where like the right person could make this work and have it be gangbusters. And
because they're friends with somebody.
Exactly. And there's a way where it can all blow up and be looked at as like an incredibly dumb acquisition.
Waste of time.
If it does go through.
It is there. Heath goes on to kind of mention, I think this is important to remember, that the integration, I'll just read the quote here, the most natural home for Epic, for a lot of reasons, for the park integration, because you can have Fortnite in your Disney parks, open to all the world, integrating Disney IP into it, which they've already announced, and also Disney's gaming platform, which Heath goes on to say seems to make sense for Disney, right? Like on a Disney angle. And I could see them. Disney feels like a place where having a Fortnite themed place actually, I can close my eyes and imagine it very easily.
I also think people are discounting, I know I don't want to like have everyone listening roll their collective eyes over the word metaverse, but Fortnite was basically is the only thing that ever even sniffed in the same sort of like room as the word metaverse or what the promise of a metaverse.
Like a Roblox, right?
What's that?
Aside from maybe like a Roblox, which I think they were chasing.
Definitely chasing, but I think Fortnite is like the one of the only products that people are like willing to spend money on like their digital appearance in a way that it's just another world.
You mean that angle? Sorry, I think you meant like the multi-gaming destination.
Right, and I think if you flesh that out and like think a couple, milestones down the road, it's like, man, people don't want to come to Disney World. We can make them come to Disney World. Like, there's just ways that I think and levers that they would try and pull that use the sort of metaverse adjacent juice that Fortnite itself has and apply that to the entire Disney canvas. And I think you have a very compelling, if we could water it down, like C-level, C-suite, sort of like back of the napkin bullshit where it's like, you know what? Question mark plus question mark equals world entertainment domination.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not so hard of a sell. I don't know what it would cost. The cost, whatever. I don't know. It kind of doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
To Disney,
what it costs.
It wouldn't matter as much.
But doesn't matter.
I have to imagine, though, they are also looking at the aftermath of the Activision deal and what that has or hasn't done for Microsoft.
Right.
And really wringing their hands about like, okay, look, we're not buying Activision here, but are we going to end up in the same position where we're suddenly, yeah, great, we've got all this stuff. Also, we got it at the tail end of its relevance when it comes to stuff like Call of Duty and things like that. I'm not saying Call of Duty is completely irrelevant now, but let's be clear, Microsoft grabbed them at a time when it seems like they are on the downslope.
Yeah, it's lost some of the sauce for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope there's scrutiny. All signs point to no one will give a fuck.
Yeah. You mean in legislation?
There's like an antitrust
the government's going to give a shit? No,
of course not. But internationally, perhaps. It's going to be a frictionless deal if
they want to do it.
If they want to do it, right? Like I'm assuming. I guess all of the Activision stuff wasn't that triggered more by like international.
There was some stuff in the States.
Yeah.
It just didn't make it. It's probably important to remember also that there's also the Unreal Engine, which winds up in production now. And
that is a very valuable asset.
For Hollywood, for sure.
And Hollywood, for sure. And then Disney's got a lot of like TV shows and stuff that they then get that. And,
it's just...
And don't forget, these things are also like a preemptive acquisition too. Don't forget that calculus too, where it's like, we better buy this before someone else fucking does.
Yeah.
See, I think that calculation no longer makes sense though for some stuff like this because someone else might buy it.
In terms of the engine,
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so weird to me, the idea of Disney continuing to dip their toe further and further in the idea of just being a real game publisher again. Like every time they do it,
we're too old.
They always burn themselves on the oven every time. And there's
every time.
No, we're not doing that again. But then like 10 years later, they do it again.
They have a new CEO. So like this is like time to try it.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Look at their acquisitions in the last 20 years. And like in hindsight, they're brilliant. Not from like I feel good about one company controlling all of entertainment.
No, we're not talking about that.
But like would they pay for Marvel like $4 billion or something? Like
I would say the Marvel deal definitely worked out for them long term.
They bought Star Wars, like all these things. It's like
slightly less so Star Wars,
right? And obviously they pushed the Marvel making car wash machine too hard, and it just started spitting out shit that was unrecognizable.
Now
it's
just
like
where Fortnite is, where maybe someone should come along and buy it, and maybe they can rejuvenate Marvel a little bit. Who can say?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like again, this is not a glazing situation here. No. But man.
There is one funny bit in here, the exchange that I would like to read, where Baloney, Belloni again, says, Belloni says, I've got a 10-year-old. He's hanging out in Fortnite with his buddies, and he would be stoked if all of a sudden Tony Stark showed up and Yoda and a bunch of Jedi and they could play with those.
Don't they already?
I was just going to say,
you got to look at what your kid's playing.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That is insane.
You got to pay attention to what your kid is playing, man.
Also, I'm pretty sure his kid is actually playing Roblox and he's just fucking with his dad.
Not only that, it's like, doesn't Disney also like have ownership of The Simpsons too? Like, they're also fucking in Fortnite already. So what are we doing? What are we doing, idiot?
Matt Baloney, you have to look at the screen once in a while.
That's your example? That's your fucking example? The thing that's already happening?
Dog, they got Darth Vader saying the N-word in there, man. You don't know about this shit?
It would be really cool if he could get in there and like do some dances with his friends.
You know what? Back of the napkin was too charitable. This was like chicken.
This is a podcast about this is the podcaster, not the people who own it. So
this was crayons on the refrigerator type of shit.
That was just a very funny quote that probably jumped out to everyone who heard that. Be like, you talking about Fortnite?
Do you know where you are right now?
You talking about what's happening in Fortnite? Like 3 years ago?
Oh my God.
What if they got Beavis and Butthead in there?
Yeah, Bob's Burgers? That'd be sick.
Oh yeah, they'll get Metallica too, probably, right?
All right. Yeah, they're gonna debut like every Disney movie exclusively in there, man. It's not hard to A to B it. It's just
it'll all be rolled up into Disney Plus at some point.
Folks, like I don't know who needs to hear it. The people who need to hear it aren't gonna hear it. There shouldn't be one company putting out all the fun. Okay, what about that?
What about that notion? Put that in your Roblox and smoke it.
Jesus Christ!
The fun industry is dying.
Well, on a slightly different acquisitional note, We have, do you know who Shift Up is? The people who that put out Stellar Blade.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that game?
Yeah, of course.
They're gonna pick up Shinji Mikami's new studio,
Unbound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shinji Mikami was before, if people don't know, it was Tango Gameworks was the one most recently, but before that, Resident Evil fame, Resident Evil 4,
Yeah, big time
Capcom
Capcom guy.
And then Tango Gameworks, which was Hi-Fi Rush and Ghostwire.
Ghostwire, and also the what are those two horror games?
Evil Within.
Evil Within, yes.
So here's a quick timeline for you, if you want. We have Tango Gameworks, which gets picked up by ZeniMax, right, in around 2010. Then ZeniMax gets purchased by Microsoft in 2021. Then 2023, Mikami leaves Tango Gameworks. Then Microsoft closes Tango Gameworks.
Right.
And then Krafton, I don't know, Krafton, Krafton.
I just say Krafton.
Yeah,
Yep.
Krafton. They pick up what's left of Tango Gameworks in 2024. So Shinji Mikami out of there before that happens, right? And then Unbound, and now they have a mutual, or not mutual, it's a Shift Up is acquiring the studio outright, and they will publish Unbound's future games.
I can't believe Tango was from 2010.
I know, right? It's wild.
That's insane.
I mean, it's been a rough and tumble ride for Tango.
I really like that first Evil Within. I know people like the second one. Yeah. Okay, so what does this mean though?
So this just means that Shift Up will be publishing these games, and they have funding. They have a video up, which is like, everything's awesome now.
Okay.
And they had a little teaser for the next game with some demon with wings in the background. It's hard out there. We've said this a lot of times. So this is hopefully a strategic pairing.
Mm.
In not so good news here, we've got Eidos-Montreal doing another layoff for the third time here. Laying off about 124 people.
And the studio head, too, is gone.
Wow.
Yep, the studio head, David and Fossey, who's been there for about 19 years. I did not realize they were doing support work on some Microsoft stuff, on Fable and Grounded. This, over the last 3 years of layoffs, this has been close to 300 people laid off from that studio, which is a lot of people to be laid off.
Remind me again, where is Eidos now? Are they still embraced?
Oh, like who is the parent?
Who has control of all things Eidos now?
In 2022, Square Enix reached an agreement with Embracer Group to purchase the studio and other assets.
So that did happen. I didn't imagine that.
Europe. Okay. In November 2022, Eidos Shanghai was detached from Eidos Montreal and moved to Gearbox. You'd be right for being a little confused.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
Jeez.
Best of luck to everyone who has been affected by those layoffs, apparently year after year.
Yeah.
There. All right. But a bit of positive news here, swinging back around. Konami is increasing its starting pay for its initial base salary by 30%-ish per month for people coming in. So this equates out to, I did the conversion here. Company announced that its initial base salary for college graduates will be 310,000 yen per month, which comes out to roughly $1,954. And that's up from 29% from February 2023. It also announced that it'll be increasing its base salary for all employees, the fifth year in a row, by 5,000 yen a month, which is around $30.
I got to do the archaeology to figure out where the inflection point where Konami just decided we're back was. Because I forget. It just felt like it just kind of happened.
It's wild.
The other funny thing about this, though, is that in any other era, a regular cost of living increase would not be a thing we'd be talking about on.
I know,
no.
Especially
$30
$30 a month,
thing, right?
Yeah.
Because the economy's bad. The cost of living's gone up, so of course you do that. But nobody's giving more money to their employees these days. So somehow this sounds incredibly novel.
And I feel like you could almost make the news at this point by me just being like, Konami didn't lay any people off this month.
Amazing.
I know, right? Like, it is, yes, even a small increase or investing in people to stay at your company is a welcome news story to hear. At least that was my thought when pulling it. All right. Alex.
Speaking of pulling it.
Can you take this one here? This just feels like
I genuinely thought this was an April Fool's joke when I saw the headline, and then I realized, oh wait, I'm a day early on this.
Bill the Rocket Boy continues to spin out into space. What is going on here?
I'm going to steal a line here from Alex Perry, Elix, friend of the pod. This is exactly how a video game development story would go in a season of On Cinema at the Cinema. Like, what is happening here in this story and what is happening? So the guy who isn't the Benz, the guy who is the president of Build a Rocket Boy, Mark Gerhardt,
yeah,
who I believe is the Tim in this equation, has been beating this drum for a while now that the reason MindsEye failed wasn't just because of the bugs and various problems with the game, which he cops to were real.
Sure.
But that various forces of corporate espionage and sabotage have conspired against them to ruin what would have otherwise been a fairly mundane launch of a middling game. I'm adding that part. He didn't say that part.
No. The vast conspiracy.
The vast conspiracy is out there between influencers and other corporate entities, which have yet to be named. But
he says he's got the evidence.
So he does, and the way he's going to give that evidence to you, the consumer, is through DLC in MindsEye with a new campaign mission with a different playable character that will explain who it is that has undercut MindsEye, I guess.
This quote is unhinged.
Give it to me.
Let's have some fun with it, he said. Let's tell the community the story before it even plays out in court. So, I think this is not us being the victim. We've taken a couple of punches. We've kept turning the other cheek while we've got our house in order. And now it's time to start judoing this right back at them. And let's have some fun with it. At the end of the day, we're storytellers. We're game makers.
This guy's awesome. This is awesome.
He's a lunatic.
Yeah, it's so sick. I love how unhinged this guy. Honestly, you kind of can't come up with a marketing plan like this because
Because you shouldn't.
Because you shouldn't. That's what I'm saying.
Because a lawyer would say to you, this is a bad idea.
Just stepping on every rake in the backyard. I don't understand. But okay.
So,
all right, bud. You're right. You're right. Putting this in the game will make everything better.
I don't know Mark Gerhardt. I don't know anything about him. I know more about Leslie Benzies, who has mostly been quiet on this stuff because I think he's been on vacation for a while.
He's apparently been on a long hiatus since the launch.
Yeah, I don't blame him. This, and I'm not making a firm claim here, but I'm just saying this is my perception of this. This has all the hallmarks of a guy who is getting legal advice from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
This has the hallmarks of a guy who is getting glazed up by a chatbot and told him, oh, that's a brilliant idea. Yeah, you should do this.
Put it in the game.
You're storytellers.
Put it in the game. No one will ever see that coming. It'll be considered genius.
Literally any actual lawyer, a person who has even been in the same general airspace as a law school, will tell you this is not how you approach a future lawsuit type case. You do not put this shit into content before anything has actually been filed.
We're certain Mark Gerhardt is real, right?
As far as I know.
So, I mean, he's real enough to have laid a lot of people off at the studio.
You know, that's very astute of you to notice, Jeff, that maybe Mark Gerhardt is not real.
We should put that in the game. That'll be revealed in the chapter. A couple of things to note here. IO has basically washed their hands of Build a Rocket Boy.
Can't imagine why.
We are done with basically everything. They have said, I think they have gone and denied the merit of the allegations here. So IO is separate here. Also, in the story by IGN, which has a lot of editorializing, I would love to read this back end paragraph where it says, Gerhardt has also alleges that the game is being, quote, very well reviewed, end quote. And the IGN editorializes says its current Metacritic score is 39 and user score is 2.6 as a mixed score on Steam, and we gave it a 4 out of 10. And that, quote, sales are increasing organically, doubling almost weekly. And again, a little editorializing from IGN. At the time of this piece, 11 people were playing MindsEye on Steam, which I guess if you go from 2 to 4 to 8.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't get to 11, but, eventually you get there to 16.
So, I think this will just go over very well with the community, and this is what the people want.
Yep. Enough said.
This is a terrible market for video games and video game development. I will never tell a person right now who has a paycheck coming to them to leave their job. But you need to, if you work at Build a Rocket Boy, you need to start making plans for what the next steps are, because this is not going to be a going concern for very long.
No.
If they let you leave the room,
prediction.
If they unlock the doors,
yeah,
nobody leaves.
Make their legally actionable DLC, and then find your way out as soon as humanly possible.
But don't put your name in the credits.
Yeah,
I can't wait for to play that DLC and then have some characters just blinking at the camera in Morse code to be like, "Help." Why is that camera in the back? The character in the background just blinking the whole time.
But
please,
you guys understand like my rubbernecking kind of like attitude towards this,
nothing
right?
fails this spectacularly and this stupidly very often. Like it almost never happens.
Yes, real people are involved in this. Real developers are involved in this,
and I feel terrible for them.
Yes, it has just crossed into the absurd, past the line that says tragic, and it has just stepped over that into the absurd.
Yeah.
Like, a studio closing is tragic and really sad. This has just gone past that now into, is this an Onion article? I don't understand what's happening.
The let's have some fun with it is like the most insane.
Hey, we're storytellers.
Oh,
Let's tell a story.
No, Alex, I think you really did hit the nail on the head. Like that is the exact kind of encouraging nonsense that ChatGPT would do to somebody.
Yeah. It's the kind of bad idea that you would say it to another human being. They'd be like, no, dude. But you say it to a chatbot and it's like, oh, that's really interesting. How did you think of that?
Have some fun with it. All right. Before we get out of here, there were a couple of things that were announced, or some new game stuff. Some of them coming out of the Xbox partner preview. But I don't know if you guys are way into Hunter the Reckoning. I know a lot of people are. There was that weird leak that happened.
Way more than I apparently realized.
But Hunter the Reckoning Deathwish is set for release in 2027. That's going to get a lot of people very excited. I like Hunter the Reckoning. I haven't played a ton of it, but I have personal friends that are like way into it. It's like the game they play.
Mm-hmm.
Hades 2 coming to the PlayStation and Xbox. And the one that stood out to me maybe the most, The Eternal Life of Goldman. Just looks like a fun, what a name.
Okay.
No, I like that.
What a name. Looked like a fun, cool game. By
There's a real
THQ
Canticle
Nordic.
to Leibowitz kind of thing going on. I like it.
Yeah. Looked cool. I liked it. That was what I saw out of there. Okay. Got one last little bit of news here.
Okay.
Before we get out of here. Part of the games that I think are weird or fun or looking forward to.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Boxroom?
No.
So apparently it's one of those like, hey, build your thing simulator, build your tape rental thing, build your whatever.
Oh, this
thing.
game. Okay, yes.
Okay.
I've seen this before.
Apparently Boxroom is a game where you design your room and put your video games on a shelf, but it integrates into your Steam library. So you're putting your actual Steam library games on shelves. And some games will unlock certain things like posters and art that you can put up in your room that are from your real games. I think that's kind of a neat take on the whole neat spin.
And what do I do with my room?
You look at
Just
it.
go in there and look at it?
Look at it.
You
Yeah.
just look at your room.
That's it. That's what you do.
Boxroom.
I think this is one of those cozy things, sort of like, you know, you're there to organize, and the organization is the point.
Got it.
Yeah. And like, do you want to look at your games, your physical games? I always like that.
I think that is neat because all of my games are not physical. And this would be finding a weird way to fix that. How? Okay, I'm watching the trailer. All right.
Into it.
It's cute, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's also that video store game that's out, right?
That is out, yeah. So we played a little bit of that on
apparently there's a mod where you
Friday.
can change the movie posters and stuff in it. That actually made me maybe want to get it.
I was thinking when I saw that mod, I'd be like, how is Alex just not all in this right now?
I was on vacation, but I have definitely thought about picking that up since.
We'll make a watchcast shelf in the game. All right, that's gonna do it for the news. A bunch of stuff going on there, the good and the bad. We're gonna take this one home pretty quickly here, but first, a couple of emails. You can email us at podcast@nextlander.com. That's podcast@nextlander.com. Say it 3 times, podcast@nextlander.com. Alex, you want to read this one? Do you have it up in front of you that is addressed to you? It is urgent.
Okay. This is an urgent one from Alex in Switzerland. My daughter is about to turn 13 and has expressed interest in learning drums. My condolences. I'm looking to figure out what to do. Looking for advice for an entry level but decent enough, maybe modular, can build upon set that I can plug into Clone Hero. I think I remember Alex speaking about this a lot. Thanks for any info. So, I think this also found its way into our Discord, and I did answer it there, but I'll answer it here again for anyone who wants it. These days, things haven't really changed that much in entry-level e-kits. Like the Nitro, Alesis Nitro is still a very well-regarded one. Most of the early, like entry-level Roland kits are pretty good for that kind of stuff, and you can definitely build them out with different pads over time if you want. I would say for a beginner, you don't need to spend more than $1,000. Like that is you could probably get something in the few hundred, several $100 range and be okay. Like the Alesis Nitro, I think is in like the upper hundreds. Eventually, you will probably want to build that out into something more elaborate, but for a kid who just wants to get the feel for it, just have some practice pads to beat on, something that has like a drum brain you can play around with and plug in. As long as it's got USB out and MIDI out, you'll be fine plugging any of those in for a Clone Hero.
Bakalar, have you're an e-kit guy.
I am.
Do you ever plug it into the computer and do some Clone Hero business? Or
No,
like
and when I was over Alex's house for the Extra Life stream, I really wanted to explore some of that, but I haven't really had the time to do it.
It's time consuming.
Yeah, it got added to the queue, which is now triple digits of items.
Yeah.
I just think it's sick outside of the Clone Hero stuff. I just think it's so sick that you can, like, the stereotype, the cliche of like the parents saying, "Oh, you have to practice drums in another garage across the street," so I can't. Like, that's just gone. Like.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, you still make some noise, but it's way better.
Oh, it's totally manageable, especially if you're even in a different room. Yeah, that's awesome.
But the danger is that child will want an acoustic kit eventually
at some point.
Stick with it.
Well, they might be good by then. So there's that. You know.
Do you Bakalar, do you mind sharing what kit you have that you enjoy?
That's a good.
Do you remember?
I gotta look it up. It is a Roland. It's give me.
Is it an all-in-one? The pads and the drum brain are all Roland.
Yeah,
usually,
it's all in one. I got. Yeah, I'll tell you right now.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
No, it's okay. Mine's expensive. This was my 40th birthday gift. This was the TD27.
Speaking of cliches,
yeah, TD27 KV.
Okay,
which came with 3 toms, a full-size snare. A ride, 2 crashes, the hi-hat, and that's that updated hi-hat. That,
the one that actually is a hi-hat. Yeah.
Exactly. And I also bought like a double bass drum pedal.
Oh,
and,
sweet.
You know,
you went all the way.
I went all the way. I won't tell you what my full retail price was, but the kit itself.
That is an expensive end of the Roland stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but this is, as far as I'm concerned, I will never need to buy another module.
Probably not, no.
Maybe a couple new toms here and there, or if I want to get another crash.
You'll bust some heads, maybe some piece will break at some point, but like they'll last you a while.
I play it. I'm not joking. I play it almost every day.
Yeah. That's cool.
And I get fed a lot of drumming stuff on social, and. I'm starting to relate in a way where I'm like, okay, everyone's like, how to tell the difference between a good drummer and a decent drummer, and I'm like, oh, I'm still decent, huh? I'm not even good.
I mean, you shouldn't have too high an expectation for yourself. Like, you're playing for fun and to enjoy yourself, and I think that, like, as you develop, you will start to feel good about yourself when you pull off some like neat chops or something like that.
I've hit some of those milestones already where I'm like,
that's great.
I did it. I'm doing, but we've never like sat down together, Alex. Like,
no,
I play open-handed.
Mm-hmm. Are you left-handed?
No.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know some righties who never had instruction that just started playing that way.
Yes.
That means you don't cross your arms when
Correct.
you're doing the
Yeah,
hi-hat.
my
left hand hi-hat, but it's on the normal side.
Exactly. Which makes me think if I set my kid up like a lefty does, I could do the crossover, but as a lefty would.
You could, but I think honestly you're probably better off the way you are, because doing it open-handed like that actually opens you up to being able to do more interesting shit.
I gotta say, like, I can play a lot of the stuff I want to play. I have like a 200 song playlist on Spotify that I just hit shuffle and I'll just do whatever comes up, and I just do that. But there are some like technical things that I wish I can do better. More specifically, like a double bass kick, I can only do by accident. You know,
it's hard. That is the hardest thing to do. Like for me, even still for me, like, you know, however many decades later, like my double bass, like definitely still fluctuates between passable and pretty bad.
Right, and also getting like the double from one stroke. You know, like what do they call that?
It's basically just a double, but yeah,
a double like that. I can only kind of do by accident. Forget double bass pedal with like any kind of like limb independence. Like I'm just not there yet. You know,
but that all comes with time. Yeah,
there's just stuff like that, right? The on the technical side, I do want to dial in the module more, where like I'm getting the ride sounds that I want from, you know, certain that play with what the kind of music I play. I've never really investigated more of that, and I know you can really like. You know, download like ones that have been designed for bands and genres of music and stuff like that.
There's tons of custom drum sounds, like sample packs, things like that out there. I mean, finding good ones is, you know, takes a while, but like there's no shortage of options out there.
Totally. So I need to do more of that. I mean, I've had this thing for like, you know, 6 years or not 6, 4 years already. But yeah, that's the next chapter. But hey, people come over. They go, oh, you play? You know, I say, oh, yeah. We do a little karaoke. I play some drums. It's fun.
That's great.
It's fun.
I got to get an e-kit. Finally, my dream of just fucking around the e-kit at the Sam Ash comes to reality.
You are the Sam Ash now.
You are Mr.
Now
Ash.
now people, I've been called worse. Nick from Camberwell, London says, hey, collecting things is really fun. Having a collection of things is rubbish. Yeah. Discuss. Yeah, agree.
Yeah, nailed it.
I am currently collecting stuff. I think we all here collect things in various forms. I am currently collecting a thing that I am constantly thinking about how to sell. And it's the weirdest feeling.
What's
being
that?
like, I can't, like these G.I. Joe classified series things that I'm like, I don't have room on my shelf for these, but I need to get the line when they go up for pre-order and stuff like that. The G.I. Joe ones. And I'm like, I am going to have to sell these as they're coming into my house and being like, I don't even think I'm going to unbox this thing. I don't know why I keep on. But if I miss if I break the cycle of it, then I will be like, oh, I missed this one. I should go get this.
I get it.
I didn't intend to collect.
It's the thrill of the hunt, right?
Yeah,
like
a little bit
of the grab.
I get that.
It was a broken thing. I mean, you're good though. You sell and trade your keyboard stuff.
That's the most kind of like catch and release stuff I do.
That's good.
Where like, you know, I have to. They're big, they're expensive, and they just take up space, and it's like, but if you don't, you have a problem, and then you start to like, you know, I like.
But you're a Hot Toys guy.
I'm a Hot Toys guy, but I don't want to get rid of any of them. You know,
I know
that stuff.
I don't sell shit.
Yeah, I like this. You know, I guess I don't fully agree with the emailer just because, yes, collecting is more fun, but like there is something to be said about just like enjoying the thing. You just have to display them in a way that makes you feel good.
Do you have your Hot Toys on display?
I do, every single one of them.
I know do you still have room?
That's a different story.
Are you mixing your Batmans with your Iron Mans? What do you got? Your Martys with your
I've got so what if Spike Spiegel is right next to the Heath Ledger bank robber Joker, right?
That's no reason they can't be.
You know, that's weird, but we like it. They don't belong together, but they're existing. Yeah. I haven't had any problems yet.
Yeah, nobody's complaining.
They're playing nice, you know?
Yeah. It's hard. I need to figure out the stuff comes in, stuff goes out.
Yeah,
part. That's what I need to do. So I'm a big proponent of preaching, but not practicing. A collection that has fewer things looks better. Like I think a curated collection where you're like, hey, 1 or 2 or 3 things on a shelf with nicely displayed with lights and stuff looks better than like a mash of just like a big line of things all on your shelf, right?
I think what's coming for me, because I don't subscribe to that ideology, I'm not going to thin the herd. I think what's going to happen with me is that I'm eventually going to have to take over a room in this house.
See, okay, yeah.
So you have a house for it, though. I don't.
Yeah, I'm spread out pretty thin right now. We have this one room upstairs that's like an upstairs basement-y kind of room, and I think that has my name written all over it in 5 to 6 years.
It's a bunch of detolfs and
where it's just like, D will be too old to kind of like want a playroom kind of thing,
right?
And that'll just be like my den, and that'll be that. Not the pinball machines. Pinball machines can't go up there, but.
I mean, just physically. I mean, that's gonna lie.
That's a lift.
All right. I'm gonna just take one from Travis and Fargo here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. You guys have different levels of spice, but I feel like you enjoy the heat once in a while.
Yeah.
What's the spiciest dang thing you've ever eaten?
Ooh.
Oh, I know exactly it. Because
what is it?
PAX reminded me of it. 3 PAXs ago, we went to Trillium. Which is a brewery, Massachusetts-based brewery, and they've got one right in the seaport. And when I was drinking a lot of IPAs, going to Trillium is like a rite of passage. And we were there.
That's not the one I went to, or Alex and I went to with you, right? That was a different one?
That was Tree House. That was also another
Treehouse.
Massachusetts brewery. That was on the way back that year.
Yeah.
So I was there and we were drinking a lot, and then we were like, we might as well just have dinner. So it was a long wait, so we just put our name down. We were waiting, and I'm looking at the menu, and I see something, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be banging. And it was like this. It was almost like a jambalaya. It was just like a stewy kind of thing that I was like, I can't wait. Comes, I smell it. It smells great. It's got like tortilla chips on the side for you to like start dipping and eating. The first bite I took, I don't know if I just if they were a little kind of lazy at the end or just concentrating all the powder in like a certain spot, but I freebased. Not ghost pepper.
The entire country of India in one big spicy hit.
I put it in my mouth and instantly I couldn't breathe.
Oh wow!
You ever have something so spicy where it almost makes you stop breathing?
Yeah,
and you're
it's like
what
a vacuum forms in your chest. Yeah,
where your body's just like, shut down. We need to shut down all non-essential processes.
Alert!
I'm not well. Yeah,
and I'm like kind of panicking because I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna die here. That sucks. Like,
here's how I die.
At PAX? No.
Yeah.
And it just knocked me on my ass, and I was like a little buzzed going into it, so. I was so surprised that my body still had the wherewithal to tense up and not, but man, that was.
Did you eat the rest of it?
Okay, good follow-up question.
Yeah.
So I slowly but surely started tasting around more, and I'm like, okay, this isn't as bad. I must have gotten some sort of concentrated evil.
Like pepper.
Yeah, where it just all popped off at once. And I took my time. I was the last to finish. I took my time and I finished about half of it.
Did you have anybody else try it?
No.
Were they laughing at you?
No. Here's the truth. I kind of kept, it was like a table of 10. I kind of kept it a secret to just the person next to me.
Okay.
Do you know the people at the table, or was it shared? Okay.
Yeah. Or I was like, yo, I just ate something so incredibly spicy. I stopped breathing.
I think
and they're like, you should return it. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't imagine this entire meal being this spicy. This doesn't make... Anyway.
I have to let you know, I just ate something so fucking spicy. I just saw the future.
Yeah. Get your phone out, dial 911, but don't hit send yet.
Alex, do you have a memory of something that knocked you on your ass?
So I mostly discount the hot ones challenge type shit because I don't really eat a lot of those hot sauces or anything, or at least not willingly. I've had little dabs here and there just to see what it's like. And that shit is fucking no joke. But there's that hot chip that we did the challenge for. I only ate a third of that thing, and that was enough for me. But the hottest thing that I would eat with regularity was the Kung Pao chicken at Henry's Hunan in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Because they're Kung Pao chicken in general a little spicy, normal, like for white people taste, it is generally a little spicy, but they tend to dilute it for specifically the more white bread audience. Henry's doesn't give a fuck.
No.
It has like huge chunks of those red peppers. There's some other shit in there that I don't even know what the fuck it is. And that sauce and that glaze would leave me in a sweat-drenched state by the end of it. And I'm eating it at my desk at work.
Yeah.
And I would have to make the call when, usually I would get like the curry or the Hunan chicken, which are spicy, but not that bad. But if I need like some sort of like digestive reset, the Kung Pao is what I went for, because that shit would clean you out like fucking paint varnish.
Oh, yeah. Hook, sign me up.
Hell yeah.
There's one, I love spicy stuff. And there was a long time there where I was like, I'm hunting for the thing. I'm hunting for the thing I cannot eat, right? Like, give me, those challenge things I think are nonsense, but like, give me the hottest thing you have on the menu. I'll sign the waiver. Let me do the thing. Bring the chef out. I'll shake their hand and I'll agree. Here's next of kin stuff. And there was one place in San Francisco. It was like this weird little second story tower building. It may have vanished the moment I walked out of it. Like a little like gnome built it and then it vanished. It didn't really exist. I've never seen it before. It had like 3 tables in it, almost like something out of Twin Peaks. It was really this tiny little turret tower in the middle of a parking lot. And we went up there and we got wings. And I was like, give me the hot wings. And they're like, okay, no waiver, no like fucking blinking, no like looking over and being like, you sure? And it was the hottest thing. And I love hot food. Hottest thing I've ever had in my life, where the tears wouldn't stop coming out of my face. And my wife was like, what are you doing? And I was like, it's beautiful.
I enjoy this. I'm enjoying this.
I found it. It's breaking me and I'm dying. It's like I'm the last fucking Furion walking out into the sun, just dissolving on like that planet and just being like, it's my way. I need to do this. It was so hot. I don't know how they made it so goddamn hot. And my lips were on fire, and I paid for it the next day. Yeah, and it was terrible. And it was snot just running down my face the entire time. And it was beautiful. And it's the hottest thing I've ever had in my life that I ate. I can't do it anymore. Now, like my stomach starts to hurt a little bit sometimes if it's too hot. And
I still like spicy food, but I can't go for the hard shit the way I used to.
Once in a blue moon, I'll try, and I'll be like, yeah. But sometimes if I do too much of it, actually, I get a little tummy ache, or it's like not worth it the next day, or it's just being like, I don't need this in my life right now. Maybe when I'm retired.
You got, like that changed my plan, my culinary plan. I think for the next great while.
Your culinary plan?
Yeah, where I'm just like my culinary, where I'm just like. I got to be sure I'm okay with the level, I
got to be ready for what's coming after.
Yeah.
And my family, my wife and my kids, zero spice.
They don't like any.
It's a real shit. And then like they'll be like no sauce on a wing.
Oh, that's come on.
I'm like, what are you even doing?
No,
why are you even try the mild?
Yeah.
And they'll be
why
like,
did that chicken die? Just so you can eat
The
fucking dry ass fucking like flavorless wings? Are you kidding me?
Barf.
And I'm like, and then I'm like, ooh, the mild's a little spicy. I'd be like, oh, come on, whatever. Or like, ooh, somebody put a little garlic in this. Be like, all right, relax a little bit. Like, yeah. My wife will be like, she'll be like, can you try this pepper? I felt bad the other day. She was like, can you try these peppers? I just bought them. And I tried it and I was like, I think these are fine. I think these are just like red peppers or green peppers. They're like, you're fine. And then I was like, let me just grab another one. And then as she's grabbing one to eat it, I'm like, no.
Oh no!
Like the heat kicked in like a little later.
Delayed.
Yeah, and I heard her from the kitchen just scream like, "Ah! I'm on fire! What did you do?"
It happens.
All right, that's gonna do it for our show. We're gonna wrap this one up here, folks. Bakalar, thank you so much for coming.
Of course, thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
We have some stuff going on here that I'm gonna pitch real quickly. We have on Monday, Brad and I went back into marathon. That was a lot of fun. We got our butts kicked, but also kicked some booty. Abby, Alex, and I are playing Resident Evil 9. Abby's playing, but we're there for the ride. You can check that out on Tuesday. On Friday, we're gonna have a Patron's Choice stream. We're not sure if Brad will be back or not, but if he's not, we're gonna have a good time. It sounds like we're gonna do some FMV stuff on Friday. The patrons have voted. And then next week, Alex sees hopefully the return of the Watchcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it.
We still got to figure a couple things out.
And just to remind folks, Alex, what we're doing, it is
April Foolishness with the Coen brothers. We are watching some of the screwball comedies of the Coen brothers.
Nice.
Yes, that should be very fun. And we're going to start with
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Brother.
Hell yeah.
I'm asking Brad right now, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Can you do this podcast? We will find out.
Yeah, right. So like we are trying to figure that all out. Bakalar, what do you got going on?
We got a lot of new stuff that is coming to Giant Bomb Premium, which is very exciting. We just announced a new show with Mary Kish and Mike Minotti playing through the multiplayer part of Portal 2. That's called Portal Pals. We also have a show with Abby called Marry My Tamagotchi, which I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on social with this new Tamagotchi game.
I saw Grub making his video that was everybody needs to quiet down about what's happening here so they don't change it.
Yeah, this thing's about to be neutered in a way that I cannot even begin to describe. But we're still having fun with the what was it, the 3DS game.
Mm-hmm.
We're cranking away, and it's been a lot of fun. And thanks to everyone that supports us. And you can go to giantbomb.com/join to get access to all that premium stuff, ad-free nonsense, and all things more.
Very good.
And
Thanks.
I'll say, Bakalar, you're probably supported a lot by the people who enjoy your content.
I want to say there's probably a healthy overlap, except for that one guy.
Except for that one guy who's probably now a subscriber. So going over to Giant Bomb and getting a premium subscription is probably the best way for them to come support you.
That would be true. Yes.
Just as going over to patreon.com/Nextlander is the best way for anyone who wants to support us to support Nextlander. And you can go there and you can find the Ramblecast, you can find the Planораmas, you can find Never Been a Better Podcast with Bakalar this week, or last month's is up currently.
That's right.
That's where we got Dan on and Austin through and Abby through, and we have a beast of a time.
You know,
like that.
I listened to I know you put like an old one in the feed last week when you guys were off, and it was one with me, and like I was just like, all right, let me listen to this for a little bit. Let me see what's going on. Man, I don't remember anything. I don't. How many years ago? It was like number 10.
That's like 4 years ago.
Okay, so that's fair. But like, man, it's really time. I don't know.
I know, it's a mess.
But they're fun.
Yeah.
They're a fun show. I love that show.
Yeah,
That's a lot of fun.
It's good stuff.
And you can check those out. Patreon.com/Nextlander. Find a tier that is right for you. There are plenty of tiers there. There is one tier there, though, that gets their names read on this here show. I'm going to read those names for you right now. It is the Mysterious Benefactors tier. And I'm going to start with the good vibes will continue until morale improves. Alpha Rhythm, OpenAI, Delenda-esque, David L., Kelly F., Brian Lucier, Skywarp, Jason Grimm, Thordreen, Evan Cook, Jerry Lee, Deidre, Queen of the Ring, Pugtato, Bunny Jerk, or hashtag Bunny Jerk, Jadrita, Statics, sending good vibes back to Minnesota and beyond, Brian Murphy, Randy Duax, Randy Alderson, Andrew Tiepkin, Alex Wu, It's Me JP, Edward Chick, Andrew Slosky, Steve Lynn, Matthew Herrig, David Campos, and Tyler Treese. Those are our Mysterious Benefactors for this week. If you want to become a Mysterious Benefactor, get your name read on this here show, get recognized the world over, and you can go to patreon.com/Nextlander. And while you're on the internet, go check out Giant Bomb and become a premium sub there.
Thanks.
As well. Of course. After you do your Nextlander.
Right, of course. Get your affairs in order. Yeah.
Get your priorities straight.
Come on, man.
Bakalar, it's always a pleasure to have you.
Likewise.
Not only on the show, but in my life and in our life, and to share those things with you.
Likewise.
To make it through this weird time with friends.
Yes, it helps having to do it together, right?
That's right, as we all hold hands. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Alex Navarro.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week. Best wishes out there to Brad Shoemaker on a speedy recovery.
Yeah, send him my best.
Doing well. Will do. And thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back next week.